it's right there. It's I'm working towards the pretty good. You know what I mean? This was shown. Issue number 133, Conan the Barbarian.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through when Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Hello, anyone who might be out there. Just kind of hanging out today. Don't know what's going to happen or anything. It's 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to America. Just hanging out, and I've got the link to come on this video with me in the chat. So if you want to, you can click on that and come on the show if you have any desire to do so. And yeah, just hanging out, and I actually have Whatnot running on my phone at the moment, so I'm a little distracted by that. They're running a bunch of Conans, but somebody keeps beating me to the punch, so I'm not getting them, most of them. And it looks like somebody's watching. Hello. Looks like Yoda is getting stuck back there. Hello, everybody. Happy 4th of July. Just hanging out. And if you want to talk about anything, comics, or if you want to come on the show, you can use that link, and I'll bring you on camera if you feel like it. Just that could be wonderful, or it could be a total disaster. I've never tried that before.
Hey, I can't stay long, but I got stuff I'm gonna do. But I wanted to wish you a happy 4th, brother.
Well, thank you. Same to you.
I just been freaking inputting into the band camp. I've been keeping busy. I got to take a walk. Then I got to still fix this dryer too, man.
Oh wow.
So
did you figure out what the problem is, or?
I think it's the fuse, one of the fuses, the thermal fuses on the dryer. But we got the whole kit, so it should be easy. Should be an easy
okay
fix.
Yeah, just to pain doing it, you got to pull it out from the wall, and
yeah, I did do that already, and I kept the panel off, so now it's just about putting it in and plugging it in, see if it works and stuff like that. But cool. Yeah, so happy 4th to you. Had a blast yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun. I went to that guy's I just got off that guy's Whatnot sale a little while ago. He went till noon, and I got a big stack of spirits. They're about like this big.
Nice.
I bought out the ones he had. So
the kitchen sink ones, right?
Yeah. But he didn't have any of the like older ones that he was talking about. The bigger ones, he didn't have them on the show anyway. So
okay.
So but that's all right. I don't know if he wants to sell them or not, but I bought everything that he showed me. So
That's great. Yeah. And are we going to announce what you're doing on my channel Monday? You said you're going to do something different.
Yeah,
Are you still thinking about it?
I just figure I'd do it when I do it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. you're the kind of guy that likes to think about things too, or weigh options and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I already have, like, I already went through the books and like put the books that I want to get rid of that way if I can.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. But yeah, it just they may be interested, they may not. I took a lot of the DC and Marvel and stuff and put it aside.
Right.
So it's mostly independent books.
Okay.
Because my lists have gotten so messed up, I don't know which of those books I have and which I don't for sure. Because some of the books that are in my list, I went ahead and put in the sales.
Right.
And some I didn't, but I didn't change the list. So I don't know if it's like, okay, I mean, if I'm going to sell them that cheaply, I feel like I'm better off just keeping the most of the Marvel and DC books if I have any interest
that makes sense.
at all in it, so we'll see. I mean, eventually I'll run out of all kinds of room and maybe I'll go back to only collecting before 90s or something, but
yeah,
it's just I was actually going through because I think I told you I had gotten through my first section and got all the books dated.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, before your show yesterday, I spent the day going through and sorting all the books I had from 1979 or before into that collection.
Wow.
And it was so much fun going through those because of all the great covers and everything, and just the huge variety of tune books alongside all the sword and sorcery and stuff like that, and superheroes as well, that it was just like, man, no wonder these are the ones I like the best. They're just so...
That's cool.
Everything's fantastic,
Yeah. Yeah, there's an irrational joy of just leafing through all that, all the comics that you really like.
Yeah. I also found I had doubles of, like, I got a stack like this that I'm going to have in the sale on Saturday that's turned out to all be doubles. So it's all from the 70s. So that'll be cool.
Wow. Very, very cool, man.
Yeah. So,
but so how long are you going to be running the stream for?
I don't know. We'll see if anybody shows up or not. So far, you're the only one watching. So,
yeah. Well, I got a jet. I got to go, but
no problem.
I might be back. So,
I mean, I know there was a couple of people looking for me to come on. I actually got an email from QNS asking when I was going to come on today. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll go on, because I was still even considering whether I was going to or not. But
yeah, it's just fun stuff,
Yeah, but then the next Whatnot show I was going to watch, it was supposed to come on at 1, but they postponed it till 4. So I was like, well, I might as well go on. So.
Right. Well, okay, buddy. I might come back on, but I might not. Just wanted to wish you a happy 4th, you and your mom, and it's all good, dude. I'll see you. Cool. What day is it? Today's Thursday. Yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Wow, the big day, Monday. I got to prep all that proper. I got to look at how you did Monday and try to emulate it, So, but yeah, claim sales on Monday.
It's just showing books. So yeah, but claim sale Monday. I keep going into these YouTube channels and they ask me if I have a Whatnot channel. I'm like, no, I sell on YouTube. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, I never thought about selling on YouTube. I didn't know you could sell on YouTube. And I was like, no, you don't want to. You don't want to.
Yeah, everything is what it is. Things get popular, then they fizzle out.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of these channels, I don't think there's anybody making any money selling these books on Whatnot except for like the really big channels that have like 100 viewers or something,
Yeah.
Because these little guys, they're trying to get started and they're giving away their books for nothing, and they're just not, but they're still not building an audience,
Right. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
I think we're doing better on YouTube than they are on Whatnot, despite the, because you have all the fees and everything, and
well, I think
despite the audience,
I don't know. There's something about the connection on YouTube, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's something personal. It's definitely cool. Like yesterday, I came off with just I was high as a kite.
Oh yeah, I always am afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just it's like I can't go to bed. I can't go to sleep. I'm just like, I'll read comics or I'll go on YouTube and watch videos, and or whatever. And it's like, something I meant to mention to you yesterday. Are you familiar with the YouTube comic book creator awards or whatever they're called?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Yeah. Apparently we're nominated as a team for some category or another, because when you go look at the nominations list, we're listed like together as a set.
Great. We are the dynamic duo here, man.
So that's kind of cool.
I appreciate you taking me under your wing like that, man. It was very, very cool of you.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I forgot I was going to call Pizza Rat too. I got to do that this week yet and get in touch with him. I think I am going to host him for like one show. He said he only wants to do it for one show.
Cool.
And I actually have a new series of videos. I have an idea for a new series of videos that I want to start maybe like on a Sunday afternoon or something.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. I don't. If anybody's watching this, they'll wonder what the heck I'm talking about, because I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
But it's Heath is here. Hey Heath, happy 4th of July, my friend.
Happy 4th, buddy. I'm out. I gotta go. Right. I might be back, Rob, but chances are I gotta hit that. I gotta fix that dryer of mine.
Yeah, real life. I know. I was supposed to do some laundry today. I forgot all about it because I got involved in the whatnot stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But all the best to you, Rob, and happy 4th. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. All right. How's it going, Heath? I am just hanging out today. I actually have a Whatnot stream running on my phone right now, trying to get some books, but somebody's really quick on the trigger, and I keep missing the Conans. I got a few of them, but now somebody else is bidding, and most of the time they bid so fast I don't have a chance to grab it. Let's see. Did I just sent your books, I think, or I have them packed up, I believe. I couldn't, because I have your Post-it note here for your name on it. It's they haven't been sent yet, but I have them all packed and ready to go. I had to wait a couple days because my shipping program, where I get the discount shipping, only lets me ship 30 a month, where they start charging my card. They put me on a different program where they start charging my card every month for a fee. And apparently I shipped too many last month. I thought it would reset on the 1st, but it didn't. It took a couple days. So I should be able to print the label out now and get it sent tomorrow. I should. Wonder if I can do that. I will try to. Hey, Sleepy Reader. Hello. We're just kind of hanging out. Oh, thanks, Heath. I appreciate that. But yeah, they are all packed and ready to go. I got like 4 or 5 that are packed up and ready to go. Depending on how big they are, I may break it up by a day or two just to give the guy that picks up the mail a break. He doesn't have a very big car. There was one day that I had so many sitting out there, I left the 2-wheel dolly out for him to use, because I saw another day where he would he only picks up one package at a time. So I guess I don't know if he's afraid of hurting his back or what, but he'll pick up one package, take it out there, even if it's just a little package, and come back and get another one, and come back and get another one, come back and get another. So I left the 2-wheel dolly out on the porch for him to use. And that same day, he had like it was like the biggest stack of boxes that I had gotten in. He left the dolly sitting there with 6 of my boxes on it when he dropped them off. Hey, Mellow Dope, thanks for stopping in. And Aaron's back. Hey, Aaron.
Well, I made a mistake. I simultaneously streamed. I only wanted to do it for a couple minutes to advertise you're doing this, and then I jumped off, and then I double checked, and I'm still streaming it. I'm like, what the freak, dude? This ain't right. So I'm going in, and I think I'm just gonna click remove. Right?
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I didn't want it to keep going.
That's called a government worker. Yeah, I mean, maybe he gets paid by the hour, right? No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because if I kept that going, I would have been simultaneously streaming with you the whole time. Let's see if that works. But all right, bro, all right. I'm really out this time.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye. All right. So yeah, if anybody wants to come on screen with me, there's a link there at the top of the chat. You can just click that link and you'll show up on my screen here. I can bring you on, and if there's anything, any comics you'd like to show or whatever, it's just I don't know. Thought it might be fun to try that and see what happens, and just see if anybody randomly would like to come on. Supposedly I can host up to 10 people at a time on here. So that would be interesting. But yeah, I was gonna pull this Whatnot stream up on another tab if I can. So then I was gonna share it with you. See how that works out. I can find it. I'm watching it on my phone, but I got to find it on the computer. Not seeing it. Let me type his name in there. Oh, I just got a boop. Somebody must want to come on. Tempest from Mars. Hello, Tempest from Mars. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Happy, I mean, I'm not American, but happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Well, same to you. And I know it doesn't mean the same thing, but it's still the 4th of July there.
How's things going then?
Oh, pretty good. We're just hanging out. I wanted to see if anybody wanted to come on and chat. I've never done, I thought it would be interesting just to post the link and see if anybody... See how many people we can get on here at a time.
I take it you've picked up some decent stuff off Whatnot recently.
Yeah, I'm actually on Whatnot right now.
Are you
just picked up a Superman pen. Not too much, really. I mean, I'll go on, and sometimes there's just nothing going on. You know, the shows I'll wait for are the ones that have the boxes, the flat rate boxes, because that's where I get.
I haven't really seen anybody doing anything like that over on the UK. Whatnot. I've seen people doing like what they doing like bundles where they'll put comics down, and you have to keep bid. It's similar to what you're doing, but if you don't bid after like 3 seconds, then that's it.
Okay, so if they keep bidding, they'll add more books in.
Yeah,
Mike?
but I've seen one guy doing it, but every now and again he takes his time putting something down. If he's got something that's really good,
right?
He'll
or they'll show
delay
it
a little bit.
They'll show it and be like, well, if you bid more, I'll bid you up to this much, then I'll put this in. Yeah. I've seen them do that on the YouTube auctions too, where they'll do that, and I don't like it because maybe I don't want to spend that much. Maybe I want to spend,
Yeah.
and they get other people to outbid you. So it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. You're selling, but
I find it odd what
yeah.
people in the UK want and don't want.
Oh,
They want they want a lot of Marvel stuff and variant covers. They'll go in for that stuff. But like your kind of older DC stuff, they're not really that fussed, which is fine
right.
for me because that's what I want.
What about I mean, I've read for years that like the Disney books are big over there. Is that pretty much true, or just?
Bear with me. Let me show you something.
I just want another Superman family. And now they're going back to Conan's again.
So I joined a Whatnot stream because a guy was doing Disney Digest.
Uh-huh.
He showed a picture of a stack, but he only had 2 listed. Nobody wanted these.
Okay.
So I got them all.
Nice. That's the way to do it. That's how I get my stuff.
That's what I got.
Wow.
That's the pile.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
The pile that I got. I got every single one that he was selling, like 23 in them.
Cool. Yeah.
So it's
yeah, the old Gulky Digest. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was no in. So he had a couple listed. A lot of people I've seen don't list the actual comics,
Uh-huh.
They'll just put comic on screen and that's it. Now he had 2 listings, but he didn't actually have which ones they were. So I put bids on them. I put pre-bids on them. And they came up, nobody else bid on them.
I've seen people asking for pre-bids on the Whatnot channels here, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what it means exactly.
You need to use you need to have the app to be able to do pre-bids.
Okay.
On stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. I found out like if you leave them a tip, you can't do it on the computer. You have to be on your phone.
Yeah.
You can't enter giveaways unless you're on your phone.
You've got to be on the app to do. Yeah, you've got to be on the app to enter giveaways and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I said, nobody wanted these. Then he put another one up. Nobody wanted it. I got that. He put another one up. Nobody wanted it. I got that. He put 3 up. Nobody wanted those, so I got all 3 of them. And then he typed in the chat and he just said, "Tempest, do you want all of them? I'll put them all up."
Yeah.
I went, "Yeah, you might as well." Nobody.
Yeah, that's how I got this. That's how I got the spirits I showed last night on Aaron's channel. Was the same way. The guy's like, I bought like one, I bought another one, I bought another one. He's like, "Do you want all of them?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I mean, why? I don't understand why people wouldn't want stuff like this.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make.
There were a couple of duplicates in here, but
I'm gonna make you big so we can see the comics better. There we go.
But yeah, these were £2 each. So like, a couple of bucks.
Oh yeah, definitely. And those aren't easy. I don't know how it is over there, but those are not easy to find over here.
I can see there's the odd 1 or 2 on eBay, but I've never seen anything, and certainly not for £2
right.
£2 a book either. But they're all in. I mean, they're a little bit dog-eared in places, but I mean, this one looks like it's kind of.
Yeah, I think overall the digests hold up a little bit better just because of the. Yeah, they're basically a book.
Yeah, I mean that one's got a bit of tearing there on the cover, but.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nearly done.
That's all right. I love Disney comics are my favorite. Were my favorite
Yeah.
for years and years and years. So.
I've only recently started picking stuff like this up because it was only
I've only seen a few of the digests actually. I mean, they're mostly reprints. So
I only recently started looking into things like Gold Key and Dell. Just mainly being but it's watching watching people like you and everybody else that's got all this stuff. That's your lot.
Yeah, we all affect each other's tastes. I've noticed that myself.
There's other stuff out there that it's just as good as what you're just as interesting as what you're already picking up.
Yeah. Yep. And I see Ray from Razor Comics is joining us, so let me bring him on stage. I've had him waiting for a little bit
because I'm just eating my tea, so I'm going to get some pizza.
Ray, you there?
It's me? It's my turn?
Hey, yeah. How you doing?
What it do, comic book gurus?
Don't play with the
Going on, my guy. How do I look? Am I good? Am I clear?
Yeah, you're looking good. Like your bandana.
Good, man. How's everybody doing? Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Now, I'm in America, obviously, as you can tell. And you know how we do it out here. We do big. We use our American flag as a headband. That's how we do it in America. So, yeah, happy 4th of July, guys. Hope everybody's having a fun 4th. I'm getting ready for the haul this Saturday, July 6th, the live haul. So if you could do me a favor and subscribe, because we have some shitty standards at YouTube. If you're under 100 subscribers, it won't let you live stream to everybody. Only your subscribers plus 25 more. So if you guys can do that for me, let me show you guys a couple things really quick, because I got to get going here in a minute. Sorry, I have to go to work. But just a couple quick books that I picked up on my vacation. Some cool stuff that I'm actually going to show off during the haul. I wanted to show this to you, Rob, because this, yeah, man, I paid $20 for it, right? This is a 1 in 25. This is the Uncle Scrooge. Let me see if I can get a better shot here.
That's the brand new one. Why did it cost $20?
Oh, because I was at a local comic book shop, man. That's why. It's new comic book day prices. So, yeah, I mean, I was on vacation. I figured, why not? It's the 1 in 25. So it is a little bit more rare. And it's the Uncle Scrooge and Infinity Dime. And this is actually a pretty cool story, man. Let me flip through this really quick and show you guys. Not sure if you read this or not. But,
I did.
Okay, you did. So how did you like it?
I was happily surprised. I thought it was pretty good.
Yes, me too.
I thought Marvel was going to ruin it.
Exactly. I thought they were going to kind of mess it up.
Advertising like Donald Duck as Wolverine being their next issue. I was like, oh man, this is going to suck.
And you know what? I'm the complete opposite. I can't wait for it to come out because I love anything that's Disney, anything that's, you know, kind of crossover. That's, you know, I love that type of shit, man. The story I did not know, but it's actually like from the original kind of where, you know, Donald Duck. I think is it the original appearance of Scrooge? Is that the first appearance of Scrooge when Donald Duck's on his way to go visit him?
Yeah, on Christmas. Yeah.
On Christmas, right?
Yeah, the first story is the one they reprint in the back. It's called Christmas on Bear Mountain.
There you go. So that's where it kind of tied in, and I remember that from the haul that I had with the Golden Age books, where and so I started reading it, and I was like, oh man, that's from the original Scrooge. So it's really cool, man. If you actually flip through the story, it's broken down to different writers and different artists that do each chapter. But the artwork in here is amazing. It's a fun story, and if you're like me that like those Golden Age cartoonies. You know, all those Donald Ducks, the Mickey Mouse, the new funnies, you know, the Pandianda, all that cool stuff. Man, this is going to be a fun read because it was just the artwork. Each artist had their own little take on each chapter, and I mean, it was just amazing. And then what's cool is, like you say, you know, the story is basically the Infinity Stone or the Infinity Duck trying to become the ultimate duck and just taking all the bins. basically. Is he's just taking all the bins. He wants to be the number one, Scrooge McDuck with the Aldine. So that's basically the basis of the story. And then, of course, it kind of goes into the multiverses of the different Scrooge McDucks. And then they all fight back at the end, of course, to show, the ultimate Scrooge, that it's not about all the money, that it's all about the adventures and having fun. Yeah, and it was just a cool story, man. And then at the end,
the Donalds. I thought that was cool.
yeah, they unleashed that was awesome, man. When they do unleash the Donalds and the Donalds start running in. But yeah, this was so awesome. And then at the end, it shows you the Donald Duck Christmas on Bear Mountain, the original fun story. The 8-panel breakdown, and it's so crystal clear and it's beautiful. It's such a fun story. So I got this on vacation. I thought I'd share that. Bought these other books here for cover price. And other than this Venom Reborn, this was horrible. This Miss Marvel, this is don't even bother buying that. If you guys come across, even as a dollar book, I hate to tell you, it's a cool cover. There's Derek Chew covers. But the actual story, it's just, I don't even remember what it was about. I know there's people with cell phones that are tracking the new mutants for Orcus or whatever, and it was horrible. Don't even waste your time with that one. But yeah, that's what I got, man. That was a little haul from the weekend. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I wanna, if you can, I want to bring you on Saturday too, so you can plug your show later. That's going to be later that day.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. I'll be there. I'm going to be there in the claim. Yeah, and I'll be there in the claim show. So I'm going to be there, grabbing up some books, in and out, setting up for the haul. And then, we're going to do the haul at 2:00 my time, 5 your time. So if you can subscribe, the goal is to try to get 100 subscribers before Friday. We'll see how that goes, or before Saturday. But if you guys can, subscribe to the channel. And I got to get out of here, but I'll see you guys Saturday. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you, brother. You're always a good man. So I'll talk to you later.
See you later, buddy. Thanks.
See you later.
All right. And QNS has popped in. So let's.
Appreciate you, brother. You're always a good man. So I'll talk to you later. See you later.
And we can hear his computer. Ronnie, you there? All right, we'll put him on hold for a second. Maybe he'll come on screen. So wow, $20. That's crazy. It just came out like 2 weeks ago. Oh, sorry, I got Are you muted? Tempest, can you hear me? No, you're muted. There you are. Now say something. No, so I don't have you muted on here, so you may be muted. I'm not sure. Let me make you big. See if that helps. Hello. Well, this is fun. I take it off again. And then bring you back. See if that works. No? Can't hear you. All right, let me. Well, I'm going to play this.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through when Captain America throws
There he is again. Still nothing. All right. Hey, Beck, how are you doing? I don't know why that went to him. I'm sorry. He was trying to do me. There's a link in the top of the chat if anybody wants to come on. QNS is here as well, but every time I bring him on, all I can hear is the replay on his computer. So he'll go back to me again. All right. So yeah, we're just hanging out, having fun, talking to people, and I don't know, haven't even shown a comic book really. Tempest from Mars was nice enough to show some Disney digests that he had gotten off of Whatnot over there. And I was going to show you the Whatnot stream I was on, but they just ended a couple minutes ago. And so I would have to find another stream to share if I was going to do that. And I don't know if there's any other good ones going right now. A lot of the ones that say dollar starts, they always have, they go on louder. Tempest from Mars, you can come back on if you want. You're no longer down in my thing. Just hit the link again. I'll bring you back on. There was a stream I was gonna go on at 1. Is somebody doing flat rate boxes that looks like it's the first time he's doing flat rate boxes, so he might have some good stuff, but they changed the time until 4 this afternoon instead of 1, so they are not there. Post-war is always, I just saw post-war, I think. But yeah, that's one of the ones where I can't, I mean, it's a good channel to watch, but I can't get any cheap stuff on there. They are on there now. Oh, yeah, it does say be right back. Okay. Yeah, last book was $1 start, but it went for $4. So I don't usually buy anything on there. I keep hoping that I win a giveaway so I can get free shipping and maybe find one I can get for $1 or $2. But and Tempest is going to finish his meal because he thinks nobody wants to watch him eat. But if Swag was here, he'd be very interested in that. So he, for some reason, he always wants to know what everybody's eating. Beck, yeah, I haven't shipped your books back there. There's your stack's not real big. It's only about like this. So I haven't actually shipped it yet. And I'm actually just getting around to shipping a few people's this week. I had to wait a little bit because my discount shipping program was going to start putting me on an automatic charge for shipping over 30 packages in a month. So I had to wait for the new month to kick in, and it took a couple days for it to reset. So I have some packages ready to go, but yours is still here just because it was one of the smaller stacks. And I do want to talk to you guys about the email you sent me too. So if you guys want to call me later, I will email you my phone number and we can talk about that. Let you know when it goes out. I will. I'll email well, either you or Pizza Rat. I'm not sure if I have your email or not. I have Pizza Rat's. You can come on the stream and talk if you want to. Oh, QNS looks like he might be ready to come on. Let me see. Hey, man, you there?
Yeah. I never done this, so I don't know what. I'm not sure what to do and stuff. Can you even hear me?
I can hear you, and so can everybody else.
How come?
But
How come I'm not moving on the screen?
I do
I look
not
frozen.
know.
I'm not moving.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had just a static picture up there instead of your a camera, but it may be your camera or
Well,
I mean,
like
Tempest from
I
Mars was
shut
having
off.
problems with his mic, so I'm not sure.
I shut
I've never
off
seen
the.
that
I shut
happen,
off the
so.
reg.
Well, there you changed.
So what's going on?
I don't know. It looks like
Am I locked up?
Yeah, you're moving, but very like at a very slow rate of speed, and barely like it's only showing like 1 frame per 100 or something. So it might just be like a bad internet connection or something. It's kind of entertaining actually. And he went off. So okay. Well, this is turning out to be quite fun. You get to talk to people I don't normally get a chance to talk to, so that's cool. Yeah. So if anybody wants to come on, the link is at the top of the chat. You just hit that link and it'll pop up on my screen here, and hopefully, depending on conditions, it will work. Worked good for Aaron, and it worked good for Tempest at first, and then he had some mic problems. But we'll see. QNS is going to try another spot to try to come back on. So, yeah, it's fun. Actually, he emailed me this morning, and I should check my email and see if he responded or not. Not yet. All right, so yeah, it's fun. It's pretty cool. Just chilling on a sandwich, but after I finish, I'm down to hang out. We went to a 50% off 4th of July sale. Nice, very cool. Yeah, come on the stream if you can. Chomping, not chilling. Yeah, autocorrect is wonderful. It's if you ever want to I often watch YouTube videos with the sound off, because if I'm sitting in the living room with my mom, she's got the TV blaring, and it interferes with that if I have the sound on. So a lot of times I'll turn on the closed captioning and watch a video that way, and it's hilarious sometimes what they think people are saying versus what they're actually saying. It sometimes it's pretty funny. But I hope happy 4th of July once again to everybody. Hope you're having a good time. Things are going well with you. And let's see, what can I do? Yeah, a bunch of comics. Surprise, right? Oh, I know what I can show. Dark side. Yoda is. What's wrong, Yoda? Why are you blinking at me? Hello? Yoda might have dead batteries. He's just sitting there blinking instead of moving. And oh, here comes QNS again. Hey there, buddy.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
I have to move.
You're still frozen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Are you trying to use like a virtual background? Because there's nothing behind you. It's just black.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But I don't think that's it. Watch, I'll shut it off.
Okay. Yeah.
Did it make it faster?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I can see you now. You're fine. Yep. Somehow that was messing it up.
Hey, how you doing, huh? Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Nice to see you.
Yeah, this is where we celebrate beating the crap out of England, and then we can tell that to all our English YouTubers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was thinking about playing the what's the song that is it Johnny Rivers sang, I think, where they I can't remember how the song goes, but it's one of my favorite songs. It's basically
I don't think I know who Johnny Rivers. Was he a country singer?
I might have the name wrong, but it's basically talking about the battle and whooping the
Oh, you mean
British.
took a little bacon, took a little beans?
Yeah, that one.
Battle of New Orleans?
Yeah.
That was the war Rob, that was the war of 1812.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I never paid that much attention. I just enjoyed this song.
Yeah, General Andrew Jackson, who would later become president, he fought the Battle of New Orleans, I'm pretty sure. It was right before we bought the Louisiana Purchase from France, when Napoleon needed war money. Alrighty. So how big is your collection now, Rob?
Big.
Over 5K?
Oh yeah, should be definitely. Yeah, I think so.
Is it under 10K?
Could be.
I'm around 2,200 right now, but that's because I sold a bunch of them. I sold some of my stuff, back around 2007. And I think I might have some that I didn't know I had, but I'm afraid to find out because I'm afraid I'm going to be missing some good stuff that I had, like Marvel Premiere 15, first appearance of Iron Fist. I had that Tales of Suspense with Captain America, 54 or 55 with Captain America battling Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real early JLA. All my 100 to 130-ish type X-Men. I don't know. I can't even remember half of it, but
right.
Luckily, I had over 1,000 that I didn't sell, and since I got back into comics, sometime around 2022, I basically doubled my collection, but I haven't bought any real expensive stuff. I just been kind of buying the lowbrow stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
It's just as much fun to read and enjoy without spending all that money, man. It's just, it's
One of the strange things that happened to me was because I was going on eBay when I first started collecting again. I was scoring these really cheap sets of like issues when I wasn't collecting, or runs went from when like either I wasn't collecting or for some reason I didn't have them, like that Batman Gotham Knights, Powers,
Right.
some other like stuff that I wouldn't, but because it was so cheap for like 50 cents or less than 50 cents, I was buying them. And now that I've got them, I feel compelled to finish the sets because they're still inexpensive sets.
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to. I've got a clash going on between fill-in runs, maybe trying to buy high quality stuff, and then getting down in those golden age type rabbit holes and early silver age rabbit holes when I get stuff. Because when it gets that old, I don't really care about condition all that much,
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, and then I've got like my my favorite sets that I collected back in the 70s and 80s that are basically done, but Iron Man's kind of a tough one because Iron Man can start getting pricey. I mean, so going for the whole thing of Iron Man, I'll eventually get there. And Conan the Barbarian, same thing,
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
And I basically got the whole Rom set. He's like one of my favorites when I was buying comics. I was buying Rom I subscribed to Rom. I was getting Rom in the mail,
Cool.
I don't. And so they used to mail them in these little cardboard, not cardboard, but just like tan paper, like a sleeve. And so I subscribed to that, but surprisingly they're in great shape. And so I got my ROMs. I was collecting Gru. I don't know what's going on with Gru. There was a rumor that Gru was gonna have an animated movie or TV series, but I haven't heard any updates. And Sergio Aragonis has got to be like 85 or something.
Yeah, lots of stuff gets optioned and they announce it, and nothing ever gets actually made. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, I know, but that's because they feel beholden to all the people they hired that don't know what they're doing, and they're too young, or they're just they go into like the politically correct stuff. And so there was that snapback, and so I think the rumor is that they're starting to listen to us now, and so maybe they'll start making better stuff like but I haven't watched any of that X-Men 97. I don't have any streaming services. Have you ever seen any of that?
I haven't seen it. No. I never watched the original cartoon, so when they came out with this one, it didn't really have any interest for me. But the people who have seen it, I've seen people that really liked it, and I've seen people that think it's just terrible. That it's like, what did they do to it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen both opinions, so I don't know.
Did they tell you why they thought it was terrible?
Basically the same kind of wokeness, political correctness stuff that infests just about everything else Disney's doing nowadays. But some of that, it's people just complaining, because I've watched I've watched a couple of movies where people complain about that stuff, and I'm like, what are you even talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. None of that was in the movie. It's like the last Indiana Jones movie that they did. I saw people talk about that and saying, "Oh, it's this woke piece of crap," blah 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 blah. And I watched it and I thought it was great. I thought the only thing that I saw wrong with it is that, honestly, the actors were just too old anymore.
There was a movie right before that he did, like way up in Alaska or the Arctic or something, about a dog that's supposedly pretty good, but it was 100% fake and CGI. Like, I don't even know if the dog was real, but like, all the scenes and everything. But because CGI has advanced so much, people really like the movie. But basically it's just Harrison Ford like sitting in a studio somewhere acting like he's really out there. But I forgot the name of it. It's about him and a dog. He did it right before the
I
Indian.
remember seeing a commercial for that. And I don't remember what it was either. I remember that it was something I thought I'd be interested in, and then I forgot all about it until you just brought it up. I don't remember anything about it other than it had Harrison Ford in it and it had about a dog. That's all I
Do you
remember.
guys want to see any comics today or not? I
Sure.
can't see.
Yeah.
What's their? I can't see anyone chatting. What's up with that?
Well, Beck and Pizza Rat are eating, so they may have dropped off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
It says
I've never done.
Because we have 5 people watching, so
I've never
somebody's in
done
here.
this, so I had to click on comments.
Well, they should. As far as I know, there's just like a chat that runs alongside. Like, I'll post something.
Yeah, do that.
I'll say something, and it should come on there at the bottom. Can you
Does
see
that mean that I can leave a comment too? How do I do that?
I believe you can. Yeah.
Where do I?
There should be a box at the bottom. Says post a
join the
comment.
chat.
Yeah, it may say join the chat if you haven't done anything yet.
It says connect your YouTube account to join the live chat. Oh, okay. See, I never did it.
Okay, yeah, it might do. Yeah, I think it did that to me on Aaron's channel too when I was on his channel.
So how about if I take like about a 5 or 10 minute break and I'll dig out something and I'll just dig out something and I just want to just show some stuff. All right.
Sure, that'd be great.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, thanks, buddy. See you soon. Hey, Tempest.
Hello.
You back? I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened before.
Yeah,
I've dug out some comics.
Man, that's not it. I'm trying to figure out this how to do this. I'm not sure how to. I don't know how to take somebody off without like kicking them off. You know. Well, I'll just put you big for now. So
I've got some Jerry Lewis.
Oh, cool.
You got any Jerry Lewis?
I own one Jerry Lewis, I think, that I got not too long ago.
Did you know he crossed over with some DC superheroes?
Yeah, I did. No,
there's the Flash.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's cool.
And there's Superman.
Nice.
I've only got
Very
like
cool.
a handful myself.
Yeah, I actually got a on the live stream I was just on, or on the Whatnot show I was just on. I got a Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen that has Don Rickles on the cover.
Ah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I think he appeared in at least a couple of, because there was an evil version of Don Rickles as well in that.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. I'd never seen
Rickles,
that before. I was like,
I
I wonder if they at the time they were trying him out for his own series, since they had done other celebrity series like Bob Hope and Dean Martin and stuff. I was kind of wondering if they were thinking about doing that. And I'm gonna bring Pizza Rat on. He's patiently sitting here. Let me get him on here. Hey, Pizza Rat.
What's up?
Hello.
What's going on?
How's it going?
What's happening? Happy 4th of July, everyone.
4th of July. Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
I'm still trying to figure out how to take QNS out of the mix here. There it is. Okay.
All right. Sounded like popcorn.
Yeah. This is new to me, other than, the only other time I've done it is with Aaron on the Monday show where it's just him and me. So it's pretty easy to figure out, how to switch people around and stuff. But this is new to me. So
I like it.
I pulled some World's Finest as well.
Cool. Let's see what you got. Bring you up.
103.
I can bring you up here. Here we go. Yeah. World's Finest. Nice. Secret of the Sorcerer's Treasure.
129. Joker Luther Incorporated.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah.
One,
The world's finest were fun.
Captives of the Space Globes. 133 Beasts of the Supernatural.
Cool.
124 The Mystery of the Alien Superboy. Uh, 158 The Invulnerable Super Enemy. Number 96 The Super Foes from Planet X. $130 The Riddle of the Four Planets.
It's like a dragon or a dinosaur.
Yeah, something like that. It's on another planet, so.
That's the thing about World's Finest. More often than not, they're on other planets. 102 The Caveman from Krypton.
Oh, that's cool. And that's 10 center, so that would have been like, what, 50s? Early 50s?
I think that's...
Oh, you don't have to open it. That's okay.
$59.
Late 50s. All right. Yeah, it's funny how many... I mean, they went decades at 10 cents, right?
106 The Duplicate Man. $110 The Alien Who Doomed Robin.
Oh, that's an interesting alien.
Yeah. Looks like he has depression.
Did he? Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got digestion problems, probably.
Yeah, right.
118 The Creature That Was Exchanged for Superman. I don't think Batman and Robin got a good deal on that one. There's 105 The Alien Superman. Superman being a rather goofy looking alien there.
Yeah.
122 Batman and Robin plot the capture of Superman. $120 Challenge of the Faceless Creatures. And 108 Batman and Superman versus the Star Creatures.
I like those.
Those are cool. It's it doesn't seem like they fought very many of their traditional villains in those.
No,
in that
like
series.
I say, I think a lot of World's Finest who were mostly off on other planets. So
Right.
but then in the Silver Age, I mean, every other month Batman was on a different planet anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was sorry, I'm trying to find it here. See what this does. Nah, it's not what I want. I was actually doing some research recently on the original Batman serial from the 40s that played in movie theaters. And it said, in one of the things I was reading, it said that that's when Alfred became thin, because in the original stories he was large, and but because the actor in the serial who played Alfred was thin, that's when they made him thin in the comics, and then he's just been basically thin ever since then. So, and they also said that the Batcave premiered from that serial, which I'm not sure if that's completely true or not. I'd have to really dive in and look at some research to.
You're gonna say, when did that turn up in the
comics?
Yeah,
say when did the Batcave actually first appear in the comics? Because it seems like it would have been something all along, but maybe not. I don't really know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've not got any Batman from the 40s.
Yeah, me neither.
Absolutely.
So how you doing, Pizza Rat?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing good.
Can't complain.
Doing good.
A little cloudy today. Looks like it's going to rain for 4th of July, unfortunately, but What can you do?
Yeah. It will. I mean, it rains almost every day here in Florida, so
Florida, yeah.
it has been this week. So it probably will rain later. But that doesn't stop my neighbors from shooting off fireworks all night. So I'm surprised I didn't hear any last night until around 11 o'clock. And usually, starting a couple days before,
Yeah.
they just go crazy and they start shooting them off, and can't get any
Fireworks
sleep.
are huge here. They'll save them. They'll do them all weekend. They don't care.
Yeah. I just go out in the yard and watch. But every year I always find like bottle rockets in my yard and stuff. Like they've been shooting them at my house. So I don't know, but
as long as it's not eggs.
yeah. It's like there was one year, like a couple years after that I first moved here, that I found them everywhere in my yard. I guess they were just landing in my yard when they came back down because there wasn't anybody that close to me that was shooting them off. But I found like 30, 40, expired bottle rockets over the course of the next like 2 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
And it was just crazy. But yeah. So you guys went to New York, I guess?
Yeah, we're originally from New York, so we went to visit some family.
Okay.
Just kind of hung out, and then we just went to our, if you watch Higgy Pop, we went to our Second Alarm comic shop, and they did a 50% off all independent comics for 4th of July. So
cool.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice stack of books here.
So you went to HiggyCon.
Yeah. The line to get Higgy to sign, some autographs at the con, it was crazy.
How much was he charging?
He was okay. He was 25. He wasn't bad.
Reasonable.
But he was only signing Hawkman books. So
no Conan books.
No Conan, just Hawkman.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
It's so much fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he picked up that Showcase 20 in his that video he put up. I think it was today.
Yeah. I was watching that.
I've been after one of them for a while.
The Hawk Nest in person is a lot more. It's a lot more than it is in the video.
Right.
Oh, it's great.
It's awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm just sitting back here.
I don't know if they hear you back there.
That's okay. We can hear. Hello, Beck.
The Hawk Nest, he has that decorated. It looks really cool.
Yeah, missing Mars is shouting Higgy Pop, Higgy Pop, Higgy Pop in the comments, and it's like, yeah. When I go in my shop, they're just like cheap. And let's see, QNS is back. Let's bring him back on. There he is. It's easier to tell what's going on with 4 panels.
What's up?
Hi, how are you? So what do we got here? That's Tempest from Mars, right?
Yep, Tempest from Mars and Pizza Rat.
Oh, Pizza Rat.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? You're in Connecticut, huh?
I am.
You go gambling?
Sometimes. Mohegan.
I remember going to Foxwoods when it first opened. It was only one room, the Red Room, 1995 or 1994 maybe. I don't know.
The Red Room.
So I did. I grabbed a random box. Okay, you can see how I throw my powers, right? So I just grabbed a random box. I don't have time to look for nothing. What do we got? Got an X-Men.
Cool, the Brood is back. Let me put him bigger so we can see his books.
232.
We got a train conductor hat?
It's a train conductor hat, but it's from Lake George.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, this next, my comic books on and on. I got to organize my collection. I got a lot I could do, just like so many of you guys too. I don't have the space and certainly don't have a dedicated room. Never did.
Captain America. appropriate for today.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I like this series. Justice Inc.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
thought
that's
the
where
run
they.
that, Kyle Baker did for that. I think it was like a couple of issues, maybe 4.
When's
That's
when's
cool.
that new movie coming out? Next year, right?
I've lost track. Actually, they've postponed it and changed it a few times.
I
I'm not
kind of
sure.
like the one that they had about 10 or 15 years ago. I didn't see any problems with it. Or the sequels with Silver Surfer and all that. But
Yeah, they were all right. I didn't think they were too bad.
I had seen the one from the 90s, but I don't remember it. So it's on YouTube, and I put it in my watch later. I would think that it's going to be like really bad special effects.
I don't think they're too bad considering what they had to work with.
Yeah.
The one from 94
Yeah,
or 5?
the Roger Corman one.
Vampirella. Any Vampirella collectors here?
Yeah, Beck loves Vampirella.
Yeah, so when I first got back into collecting back in the early 90s, this was coming out, and this was kind of like, this type of stuff back in the early 90s was it was new, not just like new, but like different to be able to have them, more horror stuff, more, busty women, different things that they didn't do years ago. So when I first got back into it in the early 90s, I ended up going for some of these Harris Vampirellas and some other stuff like that. And they're really good. Here's, Silver Surfer, remember that one? This is a fairly recent pickup, I think. Another Vampirella. Vengeance of Vampirella.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost done with that series. I think I got one left to get. How about a couple of Howard the Ducks?
Howard.
Island of Dr. Bong. Years ago on July 4th, I bet you I was doing something like that. And another one. Wow, look at that old the polypropylene. I still got some of my old polyethylene bags from the early 80s when they first started coming out with bags and stuff. And very few people had them in the 70s. But you see the waviness, that's only on PP, polypropylene. The PE polyethylene doesn't produce that waviness. And they say the PE lasts a lot longer, like it can go decades with no harm. I'll just, how many more you want me to go? The whole box or just a few more?
I don't care. We're just hanging out, having fun. It doesn't matter. I don't have anything scheduled to do or anything. I just thought it'd be fun to come on and see who might show up. So I appreciate you all being here.
Razor said, "Is someone cooking bacon? What's sizzling?"
I'm pretty keen on Bronze Age store, It's a bargain out there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did I freeze?
No, you're
Red
doing good.
Slugger number 2.
Red Sonia.
Well, that's cool.
Another fairly recent pickup is this because I completed the Midnight Suns thing, and then I scooped up some of these earlier issues of Ghost Rider and Blaze. Wow, that glare's bad, huh?
If you tilt them back a little bit, it seems to go away. Just kind of tilt it.
What if I shut this one right here? Does that make any... Holy...
No, it's coming from somewhere else. Yeah, if you can just tilt the top back towards you just a hair, it
And
seems to go away when you're showing the book.
Another Ghost Rider Blaze.
Yep, just like that. That's perfect.
See, $1.75. What year do you think that was?
I'm gonna say 94. I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun. The suspense. Can you take it?
I'm probably wrong. It's probably later than that, but
It's 92.
oh, I was close.
Oh.
So you can see how the artwork on these is pretty good. And it's not newsprint, you know, but it's not thick cardstock either. It's kind of like that in between period with, like, we call it Baxter paper, but it's not, because only DC was Baxter paper, right?
Yeah, but I think I think they just had different names for it. You know, it's basically the same stuff from the other publishers, but
See, as far as I'm concerned, if you get this stuff cheap, the early 90s is not a bad time period for some of these titles. I mean, there's no reason to turn your nose on this.
no, there isn't. There's a lot of good stuff that was in the 90s. I mean, we generalize and say, yeah, this or that about stuff, but a lot of the stories we liked in the 80s went into the 90s. So
I mostly collect the 90s stuff, actually.
yeah, I think 90s. I mean, if you're into speculating at all, I think the 90s would be the next big push, because that's what that age group is. The next age group that's going to be looking for stuff that they had when they were a kid. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just try cutting this one. It doesn't really matter, I guess.
No, it's coming from.
But you know what I remember about that time period with Marvel? Let me just do this. When Marvel was having all those financial problems, they went through this bankruptcy, and I owned stock, and they bought up Toy Biz. Remember Toy Biz?
Yeah.
And so they went to, I remember reading all the PRs, the press releases, and they were all really putting their focus on the toys with Toy Biz,
Right.
expecting, toys to even eclipse the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And the stock went into a chapter 11, I think. It wasn't a liquidation bankruptcy. And, that's when it changed hands. And the shareholders were left with warrants in a new co to get it later. So it wasn't a total wipeout, but it was kind of close to it. And that's when they really started to go, balls out with the foils and the gimmicks and, all those gimmicky stuff in the 95, 96. They started to get more desperate than they were in the early 90s when they were still kind of relaxed,
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's when you get your most garish type stuff. But even that garish stuff, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm going through so many comics and stuff, I do appreciate a lot of that more than I used to. Even the Image stuff has its good points to the artwork.
I agree.
Image was a little more hit and miss, but when they hit, it was really good. And comics were going up in price anyway, so I think they were producing value, and people seemed that they were like cheaper, but it costs a lot more money to put like those chromium and gold foil and great paper that costs a lot more. And so its actual value, if you think about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were definitely, and back then when they would do like a special cover or something, a lot of the time they wouldn't charge anymore for it. It would just be a special cover.
Here's an example of when I was kind of dabbling back in it. And I remember when this series came out, and I was like, number one was gone, but I was able to get this one, number two. And I just thought that was a jazzy cover with the cards coming out of his mouth. But I only got one other one of these, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
I think that's a great idea, that cover, as a concept. So I got some Vampirella classics. Here's another, see, look at this, Prudence and Caution on Defiant. You ever hear of them?
Nope.
No.
I can't say that I have.
Those are the only two issues.
That would explain why I've never heard of it.
This is an oversized book that reproduces a lot of the Warren stuff in color.
Yeah.
And it was produced in color for the first time. So this isn't just like a reprint. It's an actual new adaptations because it's in color.
I don't think so. Is that a trade paperback or that's a comic?
It's a thick comic. It's Vampirella Classic by Harris.
Got it.
I think there were only six of them, if I'm correct. Legendary Tales.
Very cool.
That's a nice cover, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you want to know who did it? Oh, it's that. I've seen this guy.
Joe Jusko?
Oh my God, he wrote it in his own handwriting. So I'm sorry, you'd have to look it up. I can't make out his handwriting. Number 2, Vampirella Legendary Tales. Wow, I don't like the heat. Summer's rough, man. I did a lot of work outside today. What's that, huh? You ever remember this one? I don't really remember that one.
I don't know that one.
Powerline. I've seen it, but I never read it. I don't know what it's about.
All right, I'll flip it over to someone else.
Okay.
Prison cover. Yeah.
What?
For my prison cover.
Okay.
We're back.
All right.
Pizza Red, did you have anything you wanted to show? Or
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
You might as well while you're here.
Yeah. Why not?
Always comics to show. All right.
There
So
you
from the 50% off second alarm sale, I think I already showed this one, but we got Red Room. Try to get no glare here.
I've got a couple of
clown over there.
I've got a couple of the Red Room trades. I ain't got around to reading them yet.
Yeah, I've never read it. Becca picked this up.
It's supposed to be pretty gritty.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. This one I picked up. I have it already, but I got another one of it of White Boat. Scott Snyder is going to be at a local con near us, so I wanted to get a little autograph, and I kind of beat up my reader copy a little bit. Then Becca got the number 2, 1 in 10 of Red Room. Number 2. Try to get no glare on that over there. She picked up the 1 in 10 of Twig because she wants to get a Scotty Young
Signature on everything.
signature on everything, she yelled in the back. I have no idea what this is. Becca, what is this? Okay.
That's
Eros?
Eros.
Eros?
That was a variant of that.
Okay. We got a Dead by Daylight. Everything was an Independence. So everything was for Independence Day. See what they did there? Little
okay.
Was that
some words.
Dead by Daylight? Is that a video game?
Yeah, it actually comes with a code for the game too, which was kind of cool. All right, I'm loving the Energon Universe stuff, so I got Destro. Even the new books were half off, so I got this. Got this for $2.50. I've been collecting the variant covers. Yeah, I'll try this. There we go. These are cool. I really like these. Then I got the Destro one. Cool stuff. This is a series I've been reading, Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen. It's all done in watercolor. Some cool stuff. Then Becca likes Maria Lovett. How do you say her name? Lovett? Lovett, sorry. She got Last Night.
That's the arrows as well.
Don't read that stuff. It's weird. This is her Jenny Frison covers. There's one there. This one's cool.
I got obsessed with something that's killing the
Yep, something's killing the children. And then I got my main man, Spawn. I got Spawn 301. I think there's another Spawn here. Yep. This is Spawn 300. I got the black and white one. This one's cool. I like the way they did that with the 300 in the front of there. And then this is just a series I've been reading, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. I got number 7. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. And we got Grendel, Kentucky. I don't know what this was, but it was like $1. And then I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Best of Shredder. I've been collecting these series. It's like a bunch of little snippets of Shredder all throughout comic
I've got
history a little
a
bit.
couple of the Best of Transformers ones that they've
Yeah.
done.
And that's everything I got.
Cool.
how we like it.
We do like indie comic.
I noticed.
So, what kind of pizza you like, Pizza Rat?
Specifically New York pizza. Anywhere else,
Oh, you mean like that real skinny pizza, right?
I like it to have crust. Connecticut pizza. Where are you from? You from New York?
No, I'm from Rhode Island.
Okay, Rhode Island. No good pizza though.
Oh, that's a nice cover.
Show is.
Hey, Missing Mars, I see your comment. And I don't know how to do that. I've been trying to figure it out for a week, and I can't figure out how to make it do that. So,
Have you ever been to the
I think there's a toggle, Rob.
yeah, I just haven't found it. I asked Aaron because he's got it on his, and he couldn't tell me how to do it.
If you go to
So-
banners, I think if that's a section, I think it's in there. I could be wrong, but
I mean, maybe if I put one on mine, it would display everybody's. I don't know.
which one? Oh yeah, QNS. Have you ever been to the Raymond Flea Market in Rhode Island?
It's right through Rhode Island. It's in Mass.
Oh, it's in Mass. Oh, it's in Mass.
No, but Raynham.
Oh, there it is.
Raynham. Yeah.
Raynham. I used to go to the Taunton Flea Market when they're both at old dog tracks that got shut down. And back in the 80s and 90s, I used to go to Taunton. I didn't know if Raynham was a flea market then.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make my way over there to check it out.
And
Yeah,
I
there
missed
we go.
the
Oh, you got it.
dogs.
Nice.
I got it. Thank you. I found it. Thanks.
Cool.
It was in brand.
Brand.
What? So Becca's gone there?
No, we've been wanting to go there. I haven't been there yet.
It's on my list of places to go.
So it's on her list of places to go.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard. It's not like going to Moscow or something.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more flea markets, and then when real estate started going up, everyone sold their empty lots, and now there's no more fun places to go.
That's true.
It's classic X-Men reprints. Don't know why, but this stuff gets I don't want to turn my how many issues did that go to? 50 or something?
Yeah, it's up there, right around there somewhere. But I think they stopped doing like the new story backups around 25, 26, somewhere in there.
Do you guys know of any lights that don't glare like this?
I can't
They
tell
must-
if it's coming from your light or your computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it might
wouldn't
be
know.
coming from your screen because it's reflecting in your glasses as well. So,
Oh, what do you do about that?
Well, I don't wear my glasses. I don't know.
No, I mean, what do you do about it coming from the screen?
You can try and like dim your screen, I suppose. Some. I don't know. I don't really know.
If I don't wear my glasses, I won't be able to see any of the comics.
Yeah, I don't.
Sword of the Atom was a good series, and so you can call that a recommendation.
Sword of the Atom. Ring lights work good. Missing Mars said.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was kind of glad to hear that if they bring back Iron Man, they're not going to have Riri Williams be Iron Man. It means that I might actually watch it, but not that she was bad in Black Panther or whatever. But I believe that they should stick to the characters as they were first, presented.
You know what I thought they were going to do is, even though they killed Iron Man, is that they would use him still as like the AI for the new suits.
Like Jarvis?
You know, instead of it being Jarvis, it would have been basically Tony Stark. You know.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I was talking about this at my comic store, being a little bit more of, I guess, a younger reader. Why are there no new Marvel characters? Why is it just the same thing, even in DC?
How
many times are they, like, they just came out with all the new Wolverine stuff. How many times are they going to keep doing Wolverine? It's like, it's getting a little monotonous, I think, the newer books.
The
time and effort put into developing someone new into that's the.
Yeah, it used to be all work for hire, but it's not anymore. So a lot of the times, from what I've read, and I don't know how true it is, I think a lot of it's just speculation, but the creators, if they're going to create something new, they do it as an independent so that they can own it. Because now that you have major movies and everything being made, there's potentially millions of dollars, involved. So
that makes sense.
And while I think DC and Marvel both have, like, if you do create something new, I think you have some small ownership in the character, basically, if they use it. But it's peanuts, that's why you see so many articles about the Marvel not paying the creators, or Disney not paying the creators now that they own Marvel, and so on and so forth.
That makes sense.
Is Camelot 3000 an underappreciated series, do you think?
Well, it wasn't underappreciated when it first came out. And so this is my original copy that I bought when it came out. But people lost interest in it because it was subject to too many delays, and then they thought that it was over, but it really wasn't. And it came back, and I think they finished the story appropriately, but there were gaps.
It's a very good read.
Yeah, and the art's great in it. Look at that cover. That's awesome.
That is cool.
And Index to the X-Men. which is another recent pickup, this one. But, square bound.
Yeah, I always used to pick up the indexes when they came out.
Is another one, number 2. The only index that I collected was the very first one, official index to the Marvel Universe. And it was quite an interesting concept because it was the first time that they ever did that,
Uh-huh.
And so my little brain was amazed by all the details they went into for these characters that you'd never find out just reading the stories.
Yeah, DC did the same with Who's Who, didn't they?
Yeah.
I got this for $1, because
Pretty.
something's gone up with this series. I saw it on another channel. This isn't the key issue, but this series is doing a little better. Do you guys have any idea why? Is it the creator or something?
I've never heard of it.
Something's going on with that. Oh, you see,
Yeah, people are looking for that one.
That's cool.
what's his name? Dave Stevens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was never really a big deal back then. Like, when everyone started talking about him being such a big deal, and I was a little surprised. Not that he doesn't deserve that, but I was a little surprised. But if you say that, there'll be people that say you're crazy. He's always been a big deal. And I'm like, I don't know about that, Bo. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, though. I think this went 3 issues, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I think I only got 1 and 2 until you find yours, Rob.
Yeah, I see those every once in a while, so.
This little box is almost complete here, so let me just finish it up. I thought that was a mistake. That was a thing. That you see those scratch marks?
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the actual cover. If you look at it, those are actual drawn lines.
Oh.
Oh. Huh.
Interesting.
You can probably see that they're drawn now.
Hmm.
And I don't really agree with that decision. Do you?
That's interesting. Yeah, CGC will still give it a 9.8. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to get across is the idea that his chest is ripping the shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's at least trying to show his muscles underneath his top a bit, isn't it?
Here's another original rack copy.
Sasquatch.
And I heard something's going on with Alpha Flight too. Oh, we got a few of these.
Alpha Flight would make a cool movie.
I think
That
so.
one.
I like the Marvel Star Trek series the best, even better than the Gold Key. And I think there's a DC one too.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of DC Star Trek.
I saw this movie in the theaters. What about you, Rob?
I saw it in the fix.
I don't think I saw it in the theater. We didn't go to the theaters much when I was younger. We lived out in the country, and very rarely did we go see a movie.
Everyone said that
I did see Star Wars at a drive-in.
That must have been cool.
Number 4. See, I've got number 1 and 2, but it's in somewhere else. I don't have everything together, you know. So I got to get around to doing that.
Yeah. I wonder how much longer movie theaters are going to last.
They're going to keep lasting. They were called into question a few years ago, but it looks like they got solutions to stay open.
Well, that's good.
Well, that box is done, and I'm going to put them back. And
All
I'll
right.
let you
Well,
guys
thanks for showing
keep
them.
talking.
I always thought it was weird movie theaters didn't put in. I mean, I live in Orlando, Florida, so everything's got a gift shop. But I always thought it was, you know, I mean, even down here, they don't like have a gift shop in the theater. And it's like with all the cartoon movies and all the Marvel movies and superhero movies, it just seems like it would be a natural fit to have some kind of merchandise to go along with it, you know, even if it's just like a few comic books, really. But
Well, they brought in, they started serving alcohol and getting fancier with the food. And,
yeah, we have that here too. There's one theater at Disney where you can just go in and you can push a button on the back of the seat in front of you and order food. And it's weird.
See, I have a problem with that though, because like I don't want to smell some guy's bacon cheeseburger while I'm watching a movie. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, it throws it all off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if it's good enough where you'd be able to smell it.
there is a smell-o-vision thing, olfactory movie experiences where they had this idea, and I think there might be 1 or 2 out there where they put these scented fragrances along the walls. And if there's smells in the movie, like pizza, say you're at a pizza restaurant, they blow pizza fumes into the theater.
That's cool.
We have one near us where the seats will move around and you'll get sprayed with if like anything, like anybody gets splashed with water on the screen, they'll splash you with water as well.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah?
Have you been to it?
I haven't. No, I don't want to be splashed with water while I'm trying to watch a movie.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you got mostly superplexes in England, or you got a lot of? We used to have a lot more of the small theaters that will have 1 to 3 screens.
A lot of I think the smaller ones have mostly disappeared now. I think we've still got
Oh,
one.
really? There too, huh? Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised to hear that. You know, there used to be so many where you could go to a movie for $1, and nobody cared if it was already out for 3 or 4 months.
Right. Yeah, it would just run, and then it would hit the main theaters in the main cities, and then it would go into the smaller markets, and they would run them for 5-6 years, really, in different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now when a movie comes out,
yeah. Well, now it comes out and it's on. Yeah, it's on TV. Sometimes at the same time.
Yeah. I forget what movie I wanted to see, but I wanted to see it, and I was like, oh, it's going to be on HBO Max in 4 months. I might as well just save the $25.
That's part of the problem they're having. I thought when Disney put all their resources behind Disney Plus, I thought that was stupid when they did it, and just the dumbest marketing move. But because they killed all their revenues to gamble on one new thing that's probably going to be dead in 5 years. You know, it just that because it used to be they'd make a movie, you could go see it in the theaters, then it would be sometimes on cable, then it would go to video, then it should go to Disney Plus. It should be like a library of old titles, that you can watch, and instead they bypassed all of that and killed their revenue streams on everything that they made money on. It was ridiculous as far as a business decision. It just seemed really stupid.
Yeah,
they think they can get away with it, and they do it for their own reasons, and they can get away with it because they basically bought so much stuff that it doesn't matter if one of them's not doing good, the other thing's picking up. And but I would like to see Marvel set free from the whole Disney albatross.
Yeah. It just I used to work for Disney here in Orlando at the theme park, and
Oh, wow.
Did you dress up as Mickey Mouse?
I did not, but I
Oh.
did take pictures of Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I worked for what they call an operating participant, where we would come in and basically we just took care of their arcades because they didn't have the technical staff to fix the games and stuff. So I did that for quite a few years for a different company, but we would work, pretty closely with different managers and stuff around the property. And Disney's never treated people very well. it's honestly always been about the money for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's the company that I used to work for. The contracts would go unsigned like every year for 3 months, because instead of just sitting down and signing the new contract, even if it's the same as the old contract, they would use it as like a negotiating tactic, because they know you have staff, they know you have all these employees you need to pay, and so they would just postpone the negotiations for the new contract, and let the old contract run. We'll stick with that contract until we get around to it, basically. But it would just be a negotiating contract so that you wouldn't want as much money from it, And then, when we finally did lose the contract, the reason we lost it was the manager that was in charge of all the games on Disney property left the company and started his own company. And a year later, he came back and bid against us.
Oh, wow.
And because they have a rule in place where, if you work for the company, you can't do anything with them for like a year. It's just there to supposedly help you, but, and then my understanding from the owner that I worked for, during the negotiating process, every bid that he would put in, this guy would come in with a bid exactly $1 less every single time, and then it would go another round, and he'd bid $1 less. And after about the third round, he just said, "Well, heck with it. They're feeding them bids. So there's no point in doing this. How low can I go? And the heck with it. And the guy didn't have any employees. He didn't have any experience doing the actual fixing. It was just a way to get cheaper labor, because he knew that once he had the contract, he could just come in and hire everybody that had been working there, and basically take over the contract. And they let him get away with it, and they did it, and it just kind of dirty pool.
Wow. Is Disney Quest still around?
Disney Quest is no longer. Yeah, they closed it down. And I did work at Disney Quest. I was what they called the senior game tech, to work on the arcade games there when they first opened.
That's cool.
If you visited it in its later years, nothing worked. I wasn't no longer there at that point. But
do you remember the shooting gallery at the Polynesian?
I remember one. I think it was at Contemporary. I'm not sure if I remember.
It could have been the Contemporary then. Yeah, it probably was. That I was when I went there, they had. You'd walk in at the end of the hall, and then they had this game room with a shooting gallery. All the rifles were lined up. I can't imagine. I don't know if that's happening anymore.
No, in fact, they still have the shooting gallery in the Magic Kingdom, but they just recently announced that they're closing it. So,
oh wow,
it's yeah. I mean, they're. I think they were having a hard time keeping that one running for years. But one of the things too, which was funny, because when I worked in the Magic Kingdom doing tech repairs, we'd get a call that the change machines weren't working at the shooting gallery. We didn't have anything to do with the shooting gallery, but they always wanted us to fix their change machines. And the reason they didn't work is that during the night when they're cleaning, when the cleaning staff comes in, they go in there with fire hoses and they just spray everything.
Yeah, because water and technology
Yeah.
really goes
And
really
it
hand in hand.
soaks, they just spray everything down. It would completely soak the machines. It would leak in and get on the electronics and stuff, And the same thing with the remote control boats that they used to have in Adventureland. I used to work on those, and I used to actually have to get in that water and go find a boat because the people would deliberately do everything they could to sink the boat, get it to tip over. And so then they wouldn't work, because they'd have the little electronic thing inside, and you'd have to. I finally got to the point where I actually, and the same thing with the control panels with the big wheels you would use to steering. Every morning they wouldn't work, and it was because they were out there spraying everything down with fire hoses. And I finally thought of the easiest and simplest solution was I just went and bought a bunch of Ziploc bags and put them all inside bags. And then just had left a little hole for the wiring to come out. And that solved probably 75-80% of the problems I'm at.
Crazy.
Because it was just, because they, it's like, well, tell them to quit, spraying them with water. It's like, they didn't care, so, but yeah, when I worked at Disney Quest, they tried to get me to come work for them and leave the company I was working for. Actually showed me the contract and everything to try and get me to basically start my own company and just undercut the people I was working for, Yeah. And then just like this, just
shady.
Yeah, exactly. And for a company like Disney to do it, and even back then, Disney Quest, when they first built it, you would use the card system to play the games. You didn't use coins or dollars or anything. That was when they first started coming out with the card systems to use for that kind of stuff. And Disney got sued over their original card system because they had stolen it from a guy who came in and showed it to them and stuff. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool and stuff, but we're not interested at this time. And then they turned around and copied his system. And I think it was settled out of court because that's what Disney does. But
everywhere uses that now. Even David Buster's.
And nobody knows about that. That was actually the only reason I knew about it was because my manager at the time leaked it to the newspaper.
Wow.
And he, basically anonymously, but he told me about it, and
he was mad about the bid.
Yeah, and then Disney, once they, lost the lawsuit or whatever, they came back and still wanted to use his system. They're like, well, what's it going to cost us to go ahead and rent the system because it's already installed right all over property because they started putting it into all their arcades and everything.
Yeah,
and the guy wouldn't do business with him. He's like, no, why the heck would I do business with you? Just refused to do any business with them. So they actually had to start working with another company.
Wow.
But it was. If you're a big Disney fan, I don't recommend working for them. I really don't. You'll be very disillusioned.
The magic will be gone.
But it is fun. If you have your perspective right, it can be fun. After I got done doing the technical work on the arcade games and stuff, after I no longer worked for that company, a few years later, I did go back and I worked for them as a photographer. I got hired to take pictures at ESPN, Wide World of Sports Complex, where all the little league teams and stuff go and play and all that. And we shoot the teams and stuff while they're playing and all that kind of stuff, and then try to sell them pictures. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then eventually they I had all the hours I could possibly work. I was working 80-90 hours a week at that point, because I was just considered a seasonal employee or something.
Yeah.
But then once the summer was over, it was they had no hours, so they transferred everybody to the resorts where they take your picture before you go in and eat with a character, and then you're supposed to go around and try and sell it to them at the table. God, I hated that. I did not like that at all. It's like if I'm eating dinner, I do not want to be interrupted, and I don't want to be the guy to interrupt you, you know? And so I got out of that as fast as I could and transferred to the parks. And then I started working in the parks doing, just taking people's pictures, mostly in front of the, like the castle or the whatever. I mostly worked at Epcot and studios. I didn't like working Magic Kingdom because you had to wear knickers. If you were on Main Street, you had to wear the period costume, and it was just a lot of hassle. But
how'd you learn arcade repair? Because I actually had a moment where I used to collect old arcade machines, and me and my brother used to restore them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it was my basically. I mean, it wasn't my first job, but it was my first job in Florida. Was working at an arcade, and I just never left.
Fair enough.
You learn the different things about the coin switches and stuff as you go, just working in an arcade, and then eventually. The guy that owned that sold it to another guy who was in the arcade business, and then he's the one that got the Disney contract.
Oh, okay. And
he came in one day and he's like, we're going to teach you how to repair games because I need you to work at Disney. And I'm like, Disney? Cool. So he had one guy on his staff. His name was Jim Weeks, who just knew everything and anything about fixing arcade games. And he taught me a lot. And I'm still not real proficient on like repairing monitors and like if I have to do board work, because you so rarely have to do it, I never got that good at it. I mean, it's like I can check a transistor if I have another one to compare it to, but I don't retain the knowledge of how it's supposed to work. So if I need to do it, I have to kind of look it up every time. Because it's 1% of working in the arcades industry is actually fixing the games. It's just, especially that down to that kind of level. Usually it's just unplugged, or it needs to be reset or whatever. I don't know how many miles I've traveled to go and fix a game for somebody, and it's just unplugged. Yeah, you turn it on and off, and it's like, well, we turned it off. I turned it back on. There's nothing wrong with it.
Be $300.
Like, well, what did you do to fix it? I was like, I turned it on. Here's the bill. Just because you still have your travel time and everything. I feel bad. I don't usually charge them as much when I do that, but but you got to get something for your time and stuff. But
I bought like an old Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet, and me and my brother, we pulled out the JAMA board inside of it to install one of those like multi-game boards. So that was kind of cool. It had 400 games on it.
Yeah, absolutely. They have ones now that have like 1,500 games on them.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I got some old gaming consoles over here. You guys probably hey, was Atari 2600 big in England?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I'm not surprised because it was awesome. In the late 70s, early 80s, man. I remember getting Asteroids for Christmas once. I found it under their bed, and I was like, oh, wow. And they weren't cheap to buy them. Like, I think it might have been a $30 or $40 cartridge. That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah. It's a lot of money now.
And I can
buy 260 comics for that.
I guess you're right. But even before the 2600 came out, I've got the Combat ColecoVision. You ever see that?
I remember the ads. I never actually had one of those systems when I was a kid.
It's so you've seen it then? Yeah, you guys know.
I've seen them, but I remember that my friends would have them. When I'd stay over at one of my friends' house, he'd have I think it was the Atari. And I was always disappointed because the graphics made it all look so cool on the ads and stuff, and then you play it and it's just these little dots and stuff.
Little bleeps and bloops.
And I'd play it for about 5 minutes and be like, well, you got any comic books?
Well, before
never
they
really-
called Easter eggs in these video games, the very first one was I used to play Adventure on the
Yeah.
2600.
Yeah.
And the rumor among the kids, I was like 12 or something. I don't remember how old I was, but the rumor going around was there was a secret room,
The guy
and we finally figured out how to do it. One of us, it wasn't me, and there was a secret chamber, and they say that was the first ever Easter egg in a video game.
Cool.
Have you ever watched the movie Ready Player One? Or read the book?
I think I might have seen the movie on TV, Ready Player One. Yeah.
Yeah,
I read
Cool.
the book.
I like the book. Yeah,
Yeah, somebody recommended the book to me a few years ago, and I got it and read it.
it's really good.
What? Who
Yeah, it's
wrote
pretty
it? Who wrote the book?
Ernest Cline.
Ernest Cline.
There's Ready Player Two also.
It seems like it's been a long time since the first one, though. I don't know if they're going to make a Ready Player 2, are they?
Yeah, they're doing it. The book's out and they're working on the movie right now. I don't know if
good.
Spielberg's doing it again, but I heard that they're making the movie for it.
He's got to be getting towards 80 years old by now.
Sure.
I think Ready Player One was good, and Tron was good. Lawnmower Man, that was another good one. Talking about video game movies, Lawnmower Man, Tron. What are we missing here?
Making Tron 3, aren't they?
Oh, that would be
Are they?
good. That would be a good one. I'm trying.
They probably are. They recently put the ride in
Yeah.
Florida here, so that more than likely they're working on another one. Yeah.
I've got an Intellivision console too. You ever hear of them, Magnavox or something?
Yeah.
All it did was Pong.
Yeah. But I had a Pong. I did have a Pong. Which is funny because I remember playing that a lot with my brothers. But then, even though the Atari games, I guess maybe it was because I was older when the Atari stuff came out, and I just wasn't that impressed with it. But I did enjoy Pong, so that's kind of odd.
Oh, there was Breakout too, which was in color. And it's wow, it's in color. Remember that? It was rainbow color. It was all different colors, and it was on top, and you had the Pong on the bottom, and you had to break out and make it go up top, and it would go along the top to break the pieces. That was a cool game. Circus World, Fishing, Activision had some good games too.
What are those other Sword Quests? The
Actually, I don't remember an Atari 2600 Sword Quest.
yeah,
but
there was a whole bunch of quests. Hold on, Atari 2600 Sword. Yeah, Sword Quest, Earth World, and Sword Quest Water World.
those must have been later games, huh? Wait, they must have came out late.
I don't know. Let's find out. They came out 1982.
Wow, I don't know why. Maybe they just weren't. Maybe it was a limited release or something. I don't remember them. I remember Frogger, Kaboom, Vanguard, Defender, Berserk. I got
like
some
Berserk.
over there.
Yeah, those were all titles that were based off the actual arcade games, so they probably got a lot more attention than.
What was that one with the tanks? I used to like that one. Oh, Battle Zone. That was an awesome game.
Yeah.
They used to have that in the arcades. Battle Zone.
Yeah.
My dad had his Neo Geo, so I grew up playing that thing. But the
nice.
cartridges were
They were
that size of this comic.
They weren't cheap Neo Geos.
They were huge.
I've got, for that Super Gun, which is just the insides of an arcade machine. So I've got a bunch of jammer boards.
Oh, that's
you can
cool.
just plug in, and I've got a Neo Geo adapter for it as well. So I've got some Neo Geo stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
I
I
don't
always
think-
wanted a Neo Geo MVS, but I was never able to track one down.
Aaron, Psychotronic Squirt Gun is in chat. He would like to know, how did y'all get into comics?
How did I get into comics? my grandfather was into comics, and he gave me
That's a
his
nice
comic
start,
collection.
especially if he had comics.
Yeah, he collected them. A lot of them were from I think the 50s or the 60s, some of them. And then that's how I started.
Nice.
He
But do you
kept
still
them in a
have
binder
those?
though. Yeah, I still have them.
Cool.
Well,
Very nice.
I would, I always like to read, even from young childhood. And so I was probably about 5. And I've still got some of my early books, like the Shazam #8 from '73, Starfire '75, Ragman '76. I've got some other Aquaman. I've got some mid '70s stuff from my childhood, and then somewhere around like '79, '80, I started to go to comic book stores on my own, riding my bicycle. And me and my friends used to go to comic book stores and, pedal all the way home miles and miles with like books hanging in bags and on the handlebars and just buying whatever we could. And it was like, I remember so many times like not really having enough money to get what I wanted. I mean, I think I once told Comic Book Memories that I was going to get an Iron Man #1 for like $30. And I was like, $30? Are you kidding me? I can't afford $30.
Yeah. Yeah. If we only knew, right?
And I remember even like when Spider-Man 252 came out with the new suit, and I got doubles of 253, and I think I probably could have bought 252 like a few weeks later. The guy at the comic book store already wanted probably like $4 or $5 for it, and I didn't. I'm not paying $4 or $5 for that just because he's got a new black and white suit. I'll just, and I was into baseball cards too, so
right.
Hockey cards, and so that's when they started the direct market, like in the very early '80s, like 1980. That's when I started to go to we didn't call them I didn't even know what LCS was until like 2 years ago. I never heard the term before. LCS, like what is that? I had to really think about it. And so it was like baseball cards and comic books, right. And then I quit sometime in high school, and then I gradually got back into it, dabbling in the 90s a little bit, quit again, and then quit again, and quit for like over 20 years until just a couple of years ago. And then I was watching something on YouTube, and it was during the comic boom. I couldn't believe how high the prices were. And this was at the end of the comic boom when prices were already going down. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I was seeing dollar signs in my head. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I sold those comics back in 2007. So I had to hurry up, and I went to go see what I still had. I still had over 1,000. And I had Eternals #1 in like perfect mint that I probably got for like $3. And it was selling for $2 or $3 grand. And now it's, even in 9.8, it's probably only a $500 book. I don't know. But I was like, my Wolverine newsstand, that's probably a 9.8. But I sold 2, 3, and 4. And, like some of the series that I was really, really big on and subscribed to and bought, like were the big money ones. I told you it was like Rom and Iron Man and Gru. And it's like, they just turned out not to be big money ones, except for the X-Men, and I let go of those. And so I was able to get some really good horror books in the 90s when I was a little older and got back into it. I appreciated the Warren and the DC horror books and even the Marvel horror books more than I did when I was only like around 10 or 11. So I was able to get some of those before they really shot up. So pretty much just hanging out with friends, riding our bikes to the places, and when they started the direct market, having a place to hang out, like baseball cards and comic books, go there for a few hours, Right. Even old timers used to be there hanging out, like for their baseball cards, there was still smoking and everyone was smoking in the place. It was pretty laid back, but I think that the early 80s was when the comic book industry really turned into something that adults would participate in to some degree, because one of my friends had a stepfather that was getting into comic books, and he was like in his 30s or something, and I'm like, why would an adult man be buying comic books? I don't think they did back in the 70s or stuff,
Right.
It was just for kids. I mean, if you went to if you're at the supermarket or the drugstore and you're a grown man buying a comic book in 1975, they would think that you're buying it for a kid, not for yourself.
Sure. And a lot of that in the 70s and stuff, that's when, what Marvel was doing was probably the closest to anything that would appeal to a more adult audience. And of course, there were the Marvel magazines too. Those would be mostly an adult audience, or at least college kids.
Yeah, the college kids, I think they were producing the Warrens and the early Curtis magazines and all that stuff's definitely for them. But they'd always be like down the bottom and maybe in back of something else, and there'd only be like a few copies. And so I do remember seeing the Warren stuff in the stores.
Yeah.
But, they try not to put it out front too much, probably because it was scary or gory,
Yeah. What about you, Tempest? How'd you get into comics?
I mean, I started reading, obviously, UK stuff, so things like Dandy and Beano, Whizzer and Chips.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you're aware of any of those.
I've heard of Beano. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, I think most people know the Beano at least. And then 2000 AD came out. I remember getting an issue one of that. And I'd pick the odd American comic up here and there from local news agents. And then I went round to my uncle's one day with my dad. And he went up into the attic and brought down a suitcase and a bunch of bags that had got all his original comic book collection in.
Oh, wow.
Which were all stuff from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking through them, and I picked this up. Not this particular one, but a copy of this, which is Justice League number 30.
Cool.
And I remember thinking, someday I'm going to own a copy of that. And that's what got me into. That's what got me into Silver Age DC stuff, anyway.
Awesome.
Did you ever check out Darren's place, Black Comics, or Mark's Suddenly Comics?
No.
Because they're over there, And you should pop in on Gray Man's channel and say hi, I think you have, but you just never checked out their places. I mean,
I have bought, because I know Suddenly Comics is on Whatnot. I bought some bits off him on Whatnot.
What about you, Rob? How'd you get into it?
My brothers had comics they would not let me read. Basically, and I wanted to read them. They looked fascinating, and of course, they were all the more desirable since they didn't want me to have them.
Yeah.
I remember, one time specifically, one of them, I don't remember which one, was complaining, to my mom that no, he'll tear them up. He'll get, he'll tear the covers off and blah, 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 which I probably would have at the time, but, eventually I got those comics as the youngest. I just kind of got to me. And by the time I got them, they were all coverless and everything anyway. But, because they just read them. There was no collecting them back then. They just enjoyed reading them, and they had a bunch of Westerns. They had like Charlton, Billy the Kids, and some of the Marvel Westerns, Two Gun, Rawhide. So when I started buying myself, though, because I was a child, I geared more towards the Disney books or Richie Rich, a lot of Harvey, because Disney books where I lived, I don't remember ever seeing Disney books actually seeing them on the comic racks. I saw them in like the department stores as in the 3-bag sets and stuff like that. That's where you could get Disney books. And very rarely got them because you needed $1.99 or something rather than whatever one actually cost off the newsstand back then. I think it was 15, 25 cents, 20, 25 cents. Because I remember, I think when they went to 25 cents, I didn't have enough, and the lady at the counter was upset with me, but she paid me the extra nickel so I could get it.
Oh, that was nice.
It was like in I forget, it was in some kind of drugstore next to the grocery store that we used to shop at. And I would go there because they had the spinner rack of comic books, and I remember it was mostly Harvey's and Archie's probably that I didn't pay any attention to at the time, and the DC books. I think my first DC book when I first started getting interested in the DC books was Digest. That was actually on the newsstand in the grocery store that I really wanted because it was, I thought I'd never seen the Digest before. I thought it was cool, and it was one of the old DC Digests, probably in early '80s, 1979, 1980, something like that. And
one of them was it?
Little digest.
Yeah, it would have been like one of the best of the years ones or something like that. I've never seen that Rudolph one before. That's cool.
That guy has like those, but like there's a stacks of Archies.
Yeah. And I started buying them, and it is really never stopped until high school, which is when we had the house fire, and I lost pretty much all my entire collection. Except for some of the Disney books.
Those Disney books, they'll even survive fires.
Yeah, well, they survived the fire. They didn't survive the hosing down that the fire department gave everything. That's what ruined everything was all the water, and not just not just my collection, but everything. It was like it might have been better off letting it all burn, honestly, for all the damage the water did to everything.
And what'd you do with them? Did you get rid of them?
I tried saving them. I spent hours. We were out in the country, so I spent hours trying to dry them out, and I hung them up on the clothesline, on the middle and stuff.
Yeah.
But over the years, they would mildew and just get destroyed. If I have any left, I think I actually have a very small portion left. Although I may have thrown those out recently because they're just they're disgusting. They would mildew and stuff over the years, and I didn't know anything about trying to preserve anything at that time or stuff. It was just like, too bad it's crap now, so. And then I would buy, like after I moved to Florida, I would buy for a while. And with one of the shops that we have here, it's called Coliseum of Comics, and probably back in the late 90s, maybe late 90s, 2000. The shop that I would go to, they had for a while. They had a sale where they were just trying to get rid of books, right? Because they had too many, like a lot of the places do. And they would have the brown grocery bags, and you could fill up a bag for $15 out of certain boxes that they had. And I got so many great books out of there. I got like Tomb of Dracula's, and a lot of them would have like a black marker circle up on the right around here, and I don't know why. It was obviously from a collection of that somebody had for some reason. A store, somebody used that marking for something, but
I think it's because they were remainders. You know what I mean? They didn't sell, and so they sent them back for credit.
Yeah,
and they would be marked down, and there used to be laws about that, but a lot of times they could be marked like that, and that there were even some retailers where if the ink spray is really, really bad, people say, oh, that's just overspray, but it's not just overspray. It's a remaindered comic book. So
so they would like spray them to mark them, and that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Okay, yeah,
Kind-
Aaron and I were actually talking about that the other day on his channel because he had one that had ink like all the way around the edges that was bleeding into the pages, and I just recently got in one that was the same way, and we were wondering what that was. Yeah,
I mean,
Okay,
if
yeah,
it's all
why
on
would
one
they-
side, then it probably could be overspray. But if it's on multiple sides and it's like that, I don't know if it's mechanically possible to be just overspray. It might be a remaindered book.
right, and they
Why
would
would they
spray
do
them
that?
because they were supposed to destroy them, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they didn't. Kind of like they used to cut the trade dress off. They
yeah,
used to just totally cut the top quarter of the book off,
right.
like the whole title.
Yeah, because you could, instead of having them send the whole book in, they just wanted them to send in that portion
Right.
to show
So-
that it had been, you know.
This is what we did with Remainder books.
Jimmy Olsen double comics.
Yeah, this is all all coverless, unsold coverless issues.
Hmm.
You get
Yeah, there
four-
were
you get
companies
four
that
of
would
these.
do that, right? They would take the remaindered books and rebind them.
Where's the remainder? Where's the remainder mark on there?
Well, there isn't. There's just the covers. The cover's just gone.
Oh, so
Send
that
them- send
I
them
thought you.
back.
Okay. Oh, that's the back cover. That Jimmy Olsen thing is the back cover.
No, this they took four coverless issues, rebound them, and printed their
Oh,
own
okay.
covers off.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, because there was like some of the older companies like St. John's and stuff would do that. There's actually series in the price guides where that's what they were
Yeah,
rebound comics that didn't sell, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Some
basically
Batman
the
ones.
same thing.
But yeah, that's one of the companies that distributed US comics over here did those with the stuff that they couldn't sell.
Cool. Well, I'm learning a lot. That's neat.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's really a scientific way to tell if it's overspray or remainder ink, but there are rules of thumb, and I don't claim to be an expert at them.
Well, it's like you said, if it's all the way around the entire edge of the comic, obviously that's not
can't-
overspray. That's
I don't think it
something
can
else.
be.
So yeah, that what you're saying makes a lot of sense. That was just something they did to mark the books when they came back, and they were supposed to be destroyed, but as seems to have almost always happened with comic books that are supposed to be destroyed, somebody grabs them. So
Definitely. Why throw anything out? You know, it's just being wasteful.
right.
I think it was on your show or Aaron's or somebody else where you were just talking about how Charlton used cereal box machines to print.
Yeah, I think that was on Aaron's show. They were saying that.
I know
I'd
that's
never heard of
true.
that before, but that's true. That's cool.
And
That explains why their comics are such a mess, printing wise. At least around the bottom there of the pages.
well, when Marvel and DC and the others were, contracting out professional printing factories, Marvel or the guys that ran Charlton were so cheap that they said they got a deal on some secondhand machines and did all their printing right there at the location in Connecticut, I think. Derby or what is it? And
Derby,
so
Connecticut?
yeah, I think so. And the building is still there. And I saw a video on it. And so they actually set up the machines there and had their own employees who have like no experience run these machines. And so that's what happened. They eventually got better at it, but they were just kind of trying to cut every cost possible and didn't want to contract out their printing operations. And I think that might have been the way it was up until they closed up. Because they didn't really get any better, you know what I mean? I mean, even if you look at their early 80s stuff or whenever they ended, it's not like they really were keeping pace with technology or anything.
Right. Yeah. They were, especially. Yeah. Then they were trying to I think there was a period. I got some Charltons in not too long ago, and I was looking through them, and there were like a certain earlier period where the pages were better. They were, they were trimmed better. They didn't have that rough unevenness to them that a lot of the later ones did.
Maybe because the machines were newer, and then by the
Maybe,
time
yeah,
everything
maybe they
started
just needed
getting
to
old-
sharpen the blades, right? That's true. Yeah, that's funny.
Do you remember seeing Charltons? I do, but like they weren't popular. They really weren't.
I remember seeing Charltons, and I didn't really pay any attention to them. I mean, their hero period would have been before I was buying in the '60s and stuff. And by the time I was seeing them, they would have been, like I said, my brothers had some Billy the Kids and those kind of books. Yeah, I didn't see anything that I remember being particularly interesting, but I remember seeing them.
So again, we had this sort of stuff, which is all Charlton reprints, or a lot of Charlton reprints anyway.
See, now when it's reprinted in the UK, you probably got a better representation of what they were really trying to do than Charlton itself.
All,
yeah, at least production wise.
It's all black and white stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a company called Alan Class.
And what series are they reprinting there?
I think it's a mixture of things like I can't remember what a lot of the Charlton stuff is. You know, like the mystery and the horror stuff that they did.
I'm only wondering if it was originally in color, and then they printed.
Yeah, it will have been originally in color.
Yeah, it would have to be.
We just got black and white stuff.
Nothing wrong with that. You know,
not for 20p anyway.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's
cool.
So, Pizza, are you going to get into old comics more or not? Or you just
I have a lot of old comics. I have boxes of Marvel stuff.
What do you class as old?
I have some 80s stuff, some 90s stuff. I'm mostly modern though. I'm mostly
yeah.
newer books.
Yeah. Well, when I go to the One Whatnot channel that I go to, that they're always calling this stuff vintage, and it's like they're pulling out '90s books, and I'm like, no.
Somebody I work with said,
but that's why we should remember, don't let them diss the '90s so much, because 10 or 15 years from now, it really is going to be.
Yeah.
And so,
still 30 odd years old. Yeah, somebody I worked with said that they found a place that had all vintage comics, and I should go and check it out, and it was all 90s and 2000 stuff. And I'm like, I think we need to have
it's like, I mean, it is 20, 30 years ago, so I guess it's just like, I think everybody considers vintage pretty much anything before they were a kid, when they were actually buying the stuff, when they first started getting into it, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's newsprint.
Yeah. But one of the things that Aaron and I have been noticing about Swagda and Swag, I see you're in the chat, hello. And Pizza Rat and Beck Neptune and some of the younger guys coming into it is that they like the modern stuff more than we do.
Yeah.
But they also have a real appreciation for everything that came before.
I agree.
And that's the way I feel too. It's like my favorite era is the stuff, in the 80s when I was getting it as a kid, and the 70s, but also I have a real appreciation for the stuff before that, and not as much for anything that came after that. I mean, there's still great stuff out there and stuff that I like, and even stuff that's being printed now that I read and enjoy, but that's probably always going to be my favorite era is 80s and earlier.
The nostalgia factor.
And I think that's pretty much true of everybody. I haven't seen it not be true, I don't think, of anyone so far that I've seen.
Well, I think that what you're saying is actually, a natural way of being nostalgic with Generations. However, I also think that there are real reasons for that. Like when Jim Shooter took over Marvel and started to really change Marvel, that was, to me, was one of the best eras in comics. And they call it the Copper Age, but the amount of quality new titles and versions of old titles with the writers and the artists and the ideas and everything was really a true golden age, in my opinion.
See, if
When
you look
Jim
at my,
Shooter,
if you look at my, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
If you look at my generation, I think that actually more than comics, manga is bigger. You know, the Dragon Ball stuff, the One Piece stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that is a lot bigger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because instead of you get a comic here, a couple pages, $5.99. I feel like my generation rather buy a book for $10.
Well, that's when I was kind of getting out of it. And the few times I did go to places, they always doubled as Magic the Gathering a night in shops. So I like all these younger people were showing up for Magic the Gathering to play on Friday nights and stuff. And I was like, what? I guess they're just playing cards, but I don't really know much because I played D&D,
Yeah.
And I really looked down on Magic the Gathering as like a dumbed down version of like poker with Magic cards. I never
I used to
understood.
play the game for a while, Magic.
So is it like you think that it's got some real strategy and stuff?
No, Magic. Magic is if I buy a deck for $100 and you buy a deck for $1,000, you win. You win.
That's not a game,
Here to win.
That's what it is. There is some strategy to it. There is some strategy to it, but it's very much.
Is it just like Top Trumps?
Yeah. It's very much, if you're willing to put a little bit more money in than the other person, you're more likely to win.
Oh, isn't that true of any of the collectible card games? I mean, pretty much. Or
Yeah, they're pretty much. That's
Yeah.
why I got out of cards. I can't. If you want to buy them to collect them, that's one thing. But if you want to play it, it's so competitive.
Right.
And then the Pokemon, so you must have been part of the Pokemon craze.
I never was too much into Pokemon. No, I skipped Pokemon.
My nephews were into one of those, but I don't remember which one it was. But I remember there being crazy over cards of some sort, and I wish they
Probably
were into
Yu-Gi-Oh.
comics like I was.
Yeah, I did Yu-Gi-Oh when I was younger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
it might have
know-
been Yu-Gi-Oh. It was
Yeah.
like something around there.
When we were kids, though, I didn't know how to play. We just kind of threw them all on the floor and was like,
Yeah, well, I just remember them like, I mean, if we went to a shop together, I'd be interested in the comic books, and they would get cards, and they would just like rip open the packs and just be real excited about, I got this or I got that, and it's
Tell Aaron I'll be right back.
Okay, Aaron, he'll be right back. Oh, he's asking him about his D&D stuff. If he's
Swag. I wonder, do you read manga at all too? Are you into like Dragon Ball and everything? 'Cause I would assume you and me are around the same age there.
I remember I was in a Walmart a few months ago, and they had a big display of manga in the in the section where they sell the movies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really picked over. There was
Oh yeah.
I mean it was a pretty decent display, and there was just nothing left in it. It was like one of those cardboard displays where they set it up and then they just filled it with the books,
Yeah.
And it was it was pretty much there wasn't I wouldn't say it was even half full, and it had been the first time I had ever seen it. And that's the first time it really, because I'd been reading about manga's super popular, blah 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 blah, and that's the first time I'd ever seen I was like, oh, it must be if it's in Walmart and it's picked over.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
See, I'll show you something cool. Hold on.
They all left me. I'm the only one here.
2 seconds. So, when they first brought manga to the U.S., they did it in comic book form.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Dragon Ball Z. Before they did it in book form, but now it's all just.
Yeah. Now anybody that's into it is actually getting the books and that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got some old Robotech and stuff like that in the stacks here somewhere.
Yeah. It's good stories. I like the stories.
I only have one piece of manga. It's not for kids.
What do you got?
I probably don't even want to say what it is. It's
I claimed that.
definitely not for kids.
All right, what time is it anyway? About 3:30 my time. All right, yeah, we can go a little while.
I was able to. I haven't dug out. I used to play D&D. I quit. It's probably in college. No, so I got some stuff here. Hold on. I had some stuff that I haven't seen this stuff in so many years. Oh, look, I found a comic book too. This is when Conan first came with Dark Horse.
Okay.
I had gone to the store or something, and I only bought it because it was Conan. Here's something.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
What's a coloring book? Huh.
Yeah, I guess
I don't
so.
think I've ever seen the coloring books before.
It says Marvel.
Yeah, I was just looking at
I
that.
had this stuff in an old hutch, and look, I should be preserving this, huh?
Is that like based on the cartoon series, or is it an actual like based on the role playing thing?
It says trying to see what year it came out. I can see it's all this type of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember this one either. I don't see a year on it.
And it said that QNS, you and him were the kids in Stranger Things.
I know this was my first exposure to D&D, I believe, was to keep on the Borderlands module. And I know I've got the cover somewhere, but I'm gonna have to treat these a little better. There's a cover, I probably have it. This was the very first module that came, or one of the first, if not the first. Keep on the Borderlands. So I can see different maps and stuff. It's 28 pages. And so you can see it gets into all the personalities and stuff. Let me try to see that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some hard covers. That's what made. I know I got some hard covers. I got some other music books here that I gotta put away.
I remember buying a basic set that I think was like a box set, and it had a module or something in it, and dice and stuff. And then I got the hardcover books But like I said, I lived out in the country. I didn't have anybody to play with. It was just for me. It was just like, oh, this stuff is cool, and I would read through it and wish I had somebody to play with. Basically,
Oh.
none of my friends were ever into that kind of stuff at all. So.
Your brothers didn't care?
No, not really. The one closest to me was like 4 years older than I was. So at that point, they had all pretty much moved on and just weren't interested in that kind of stuff. I think one of my brothers did try to play with me one time, when they came over for like a holiday or something, but they just weren't into it. They didn't understand the whole, well, how do we win? How do we, they're looking at it as it's a game,
Yeah.
Just weren't into it. So
Jimi Hendrix, that's cool.
it's awesome.
I got more stuff here. Oh, look, it's one of my original playing things.
Oh, cool.
This is what we played with.
Yeah, character sheet.
That's cool.
You see, there's actual writing there to prove that I'm telling you the truth when I say I played D&D a long time ago.
Well, and I was actually born in Wisconsin, so I wasn't that far away from Lake Geneva, where all that came out of. I just didn't know it at the time,
So yeah, I had a high school teacher that was really big in it, and he used to have a club, the Strategic Games Club, and we played D&D at school every day. And he had the Strategic Games Club where we played Risk and Stratego and so on. And he was the dungeon master, and he won awards at Gen Con for being a dungeon master. I was briefly a dungeon master, but and so you could see I made up magic cards. It's because we used to make up our own magic cards.
Okay.
That you could get on the adventure.
Wisconsin to Florida must have been some move.
Unfortunately,
it took a couple tries, actually.
Yeah.
I had no idea that the old D&D stuff would ever be worth anything, so I never stored it properly. And so you can see here that I've got water damage to my... I don't know if I could take that off, but it's the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah.
Cool cover, actually.
That's the one I've got somewhere.
Wow.
And you can see there's even good old molding in there. And here's another module that I played that you might remember. This is one of the early ones. I was probably about 12 when I was playing this.
I'd love to play D&D again.
So you played, Rob?
No, never. Not really. I just read the books and thought it was all very fascinating and something different that I'd never seen before, but I've never really played or anything.
They played in England, Tempest, didn't they?
Yeah, because we had the Games Workshop over here. They were heavily into your D&D stuff and your Warhammer, etc.
But you didn't play?
Warhammer.
I've never. I used to have an actual Dungeons and Dragons board game when I was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
But
was it Greyhawk?
That's as close as I got to playing Dungeons and Dragons.
There was a board game I think called Dungeon that they put out.
Yeah.
I had that. It was just a very simplified kids game version of Dungeons and Dragons, kind of.
Yeah, you just moved around the board and picked up treasure.
Yeah, it was just like any other board game, pretty much.
Yeah.
My high school, actually, we had a Dungeons and Dragons club that one of my teachers ran, one of the history teachers. So that was cool.
Well, that's cool that you guys had teachers that were into that kind of stuff. Mine, I mean, I found out, I think, in high school that some casual acquaintances were into it, but I didn't know anything about it until like later. So
Yeah.
none of my close circle of friends were into it that I was aware of. So and back then it was you had that whole demonic thing. So it was like
the devil
you
worship.
yeah, it's not something you were like going around telling people about exactly. But yeah,
This is that's the only piece of manga I've got.
I've never heard of that.
I won't show you the rest of the cover.
And I see you're not showing the rest of it. So yeah,
what's
thank you.
inside it.
Well, I do have definitely. I know I have the Player's Handbook, the Fiend Folio, and other modules and other stuff. But
do you have any of the Dragon magazines and like that
well,
kind of stuff?
actually, it's funny you should say that because in the spot I was just looking, I didn't find any of that other stuff, and I'm not sure where it is. But I found the Dragon magazine, but it has no cover on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never heard of Dragon magazine. What was that about?
It was just basically a magazine put out by TSR for the players. They would have modules printed in it and information and new monsters and all kinds of different stuff.
That's kind of cool.
What about the figures that they released? Did you ever pick up any of the figures? Advanced Dungeons and Dragons stuff?
He's talking about the figures.
Yeah. There you go.
There's some for sale in 85.
Did you ever get any of them?
What about the articulated ones?
Other guys, the Dungeon Master had some, but I never was a figure or toy guy ever. So I don't own any toys or figures or any of that type of stuff.
Because like NECA have just started releasing some of the older.
But there were some guys that did the figures and really took it to a next level where they had whole armies on 12 by 12 tables in their basement with like thousands and thousands of them and just trying to create these battles.
Yeah.
Peace out, Aaron.
That's it. So anyway, you can see these magazines are pretty thick, and Dragon is considered a very collectible magazine now.
Yeah, I would think so.
There's a lot in here, really. You'd be surprised at the level of reading it would take just to finish reading this magazine. I mean, they really get into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there is some comic type stuff in there. I don't really know. I have
my only exposure to that magazine was, I think, if I remember correctly, one of the school libraries had copies of it where you could actually check them out.
That's cool.
Look, in the middle of this, right, there's one color page. Just one. Aries.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go let the dog out, so I'm gonna go catch you guys a bit later.
All right.
It was awesome hanging out.
I am going to email you my phone number so you can call me. We can talk about
you got it
coming on. So
you got it. All right.
All right.
Be good, everyone. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Thanks for being here. See you later.
So, what else should we do here today, Rob? You want to talk?
I don't know. Whatever you want. I could show some books if you guys want.
Have you actually shown anything yet, Rob?
I have not. I went and grabbed a pile, and then we got into something else. But these are actually. I recently, I've been. I mean, you guys know from watching my channel, when I try to organize the books, I go to. I put dates on them because I've been organizing by date like this. And so I recently got done with my first bunch. Those piles over there, the short boxes. But I had a whole bunch of ones before I decided to do it that way. I had 3 or 4 long boxes that were 1979 and before that. And so I just recently, the last couple of days, I've been putting those into the collection and getting them all in order. So I actually came up with this stack of books that are doubles. These are all doubles, so I can go ahead and put these in the sale on Saturday. So they're all, just doubles of what I already have. So you got Battlestar Galactica number 5, 1979.
I've picked a few issues of that recently.
And I think I either have a complete set of that or I'm missing like one issue. I can't remember. Howard the Duck, that's the one QNS was just showing, I think. Number 14. And number 18. And I'm really surprised. Apparently my lists are woefully out of date. I thought I was pretty much up to date on them, but for me to go through a few boxes and find this many that I had doubles, or there's even a couple in here I had triples of, I think. I got Spectacular Spider-Man number 37.
There's one issue of World's Finest I had 5 copies of.
Oh, really? Marvel 2-in-1, 48. I mean, it's easy, especially with going on Whatnot. You only have a split second usually to figure out whether you've got it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to have the option of, if I don't need to worry about it, because if it's anything before 1980, it's pretty much guaranteed to sell in the sale. If I already have it, Marvel 2-in-1 number 42, Captain America number 36. And I know some of the guys have been complaining that a lot of times in Marvel 2-in-1 they would team the thing up with another member of the Fantastic Four, which just seems kind of
it's cheating,
silly when you have an entire universe of characters.
It's lazy. That's what it is.
Yeah, Justice League of America 151. John Carter 15. Human Fly number 13. And number 8. Number 5. Action Comics 481 with the Supermobile.
Oh, with his I've got
you got the toy?
Supermobile.
Nice. I want to find the little Matchbox one.
Yeah, the older one.
Yeah. Walt Disney's Comics and Stories 443.
Nice.
And there's another copy of that. And that's one I actually had 3 copies of. 441. Super Goof 42. That's another one I had 3 copies of. Superboy and the Legion 227. Star Hunters number 2. 2-in-1 26. Invaders number 18. Human Fly number 4. They're all going to be in the sale on Saturday, Swag.
Is he claiming them
Number
now?
1. He's trying to claim. He's just claiming the entire stack. Daisy and Donald 25. Conan 78. Superman Family 178.
Nice, a giant.
And 176. Cull the Destroyer number 18. And number 16 and 17. Justice League of America 136. Number 134. Claw the Unconquered number 9, which surprisingly is one of the ones that for some reason the claws don't seem to be popular, even though everybody likes all the other barbarian type.
Yeah.
You know. There's number 5.
Is it because it's a DC barbarian and not a Marvel one?
Part of it, yeah, because the other series that doesn't sell real well when I think it's going to is Commandy. Or Commandi, however you want to say it. Sometimes those don't sell either. First issue special number 12. But the Warlords, normally sell. Sergeant Fury 128. Richie Rich Billions number 1. And Bank Book number 6. Bank Book number 4. Archie's Joke Book number 185. And Walt Disney's Comics and Stories 383, 1972. New Terry Toons number 17 with Heckle and Jekyll. Mickey Mouse 136. And Call of the Conqueror number 4. And that's it. I was very surprised when I started pulling doubles out and there was this many of them. I thought there would be maybe a couple, but somewhere my data keeping didn't do so well. It got messed
Usually
up.
For me, it's just look at the cover and have I got it? I think I have. I'm not sure, but I'll get it anyway.
I used to be able to do that. I cannot anymore because of the sales. I've been going through so many books and stuff and looking at so many that it's just, there'd be no way for me to remember. And sometimes I think I do, and then I don't, and sometimes I don't, and then it turns out I have it, and it's just, it's just such a constant thing that there's no way. And sometimes, it was such a joy going through the boxes of that era to put them into the, make it into the bigger collection, because they're just all such great covers from those eras. Anything that's older like that, I just get so much joy out of just from holding it and looking at it. And the new stuff's good too, but it's a different style of artwork a lot of the time, and I just really I'm pleasantly surprised in some of the books that I brought out, because I was like, I didn't remember that I had this one, and it's really nice. So fun stuff.
Can you think of an example?
Not off the top of my head. I was going through so many of them that it was just crazy.
Are you working on any Golden Age or early Silver runs?
Not really so much. I just buy stuff on the cheap, and then whatever I end up with, that's what I end up with. If I wanted to, I'd be working on like Amazing Spider-Man, just because I'd gotten those older ones recently, and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, it's not like I can find those for $1. So,
So
you
you
know.
said Whatnot's getting a little sparse?
The one of my main suppliers, the collective that I went to, that I've been going to, she said she was having trouble finding more vintage books in their pile that they have in their warehouse. So it could be that she just hasn't hit another spot where there's a bunch of them yet, or it could be that they don't have them. I don't know. I know they have like a whole bunch of EC reprints because I bought some a few weeks ago, and I just recorded them for a episode that probably won't air for about a month now. But
What year did those reprints come out?
early '90s, I think.
I thought they were the 90s
Most of them were
reprints.
the Ross Cochran ones before Gladstone Gemstone started doing them. So I thought they were going to be the Gemstone ones, but they weren't. They were older ones. So
Did you have one of the 1963 ones? You know that 1963 series? It's called 1963.
the Image books, the Image series.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
You had one in your sale the other day,
Yeah.
didn't you?
yeah, weren't those were those EC reprints, or were they from a different publisher?
No, they're from Image. They're just I mean, they're
They
new
re-
stories. They were basically homaging that era of comics.
Oh yeah, then
Like
because
the
I
old series
bought
of
one of them when it first came out, and you know, I really did think that that they were reprints, but I guess not because you read them, huh?
I haven't actually sat down and read them, but I
6 issues of that series.
yeah, I don't.
I know it didn't get finished properly, did it?
I can look them up real quick here. But I
I'm
don't-
looking them up, Rob.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
What do
don't
you
think they
see?
were reprints.
What do you see on the screen when I'm looking something up? Do you see me or do you see something else?
We just see you, whatever your camera's pointed at.
Oh, okay.
You can share a screen if you go down in the. I don't know if you can see it, since you don't normally use this software. But there's a tab down at the bottom called Present, and that's how I show the videos that I show. I can use that to play a video, or I can use it to share another tab on my computer.
I don't think we've got those. I think I assume
Okay.
only you have that because you're.
Yeah, I know.
hosting.
I have them when I'm on Aaron's channel, but I also use the same software. So, yeah.
So
if
can you
just-
see it now?
Nope. Just seeing you.
Oh, I said share your screen, and it said that it's sharing the screen, but it's not.
No, I don't see anything else. Maybe it doesn't work that way. I know the one time I did share it on Aaron's channel.
So
we had trouble getting it to work, but we did get it to work finally. So
yeah, it looks like you were right. For some reason, I was thinking that 1963 series was reprints, but it wasn't at all. Yeah, I just wanted to check for some reason.
it's hard to remember all the details of everything. It's just
Sure
so
is. Sure is. Because I don't really have any reprints that I can think of. But those EC reprints from the 90s, who did them?
Ross Cochran is the name under the publisher. I think he did. I don't remember what all he did. He was involved in some kind of reprints or something. I think he basically owned all the EC material at that point or something. And then after that, Gemstone started doing kind of the same thing They just kind of took over what he was doing, I think.
Yeah, I never got into the EC much, and I kind of like Mad Magazine. I mean, I collected Mad, and I don't have my original Mads from the 70s.
Yeah.
I think we just threw them away
Yeah, probably.
and cracked.
I remember Cracked and Crazy and
yeah.
Frantic.
Wish I didn't throw them away, but I don't think I've ever read an original EC pre-code horror book. But from what I see in them, I don't feel particularly drawn to them, and I know that they're the cat's meow.
Yeah, looking through them after I got the reprints, because this is pretty much my first exposure to them too. It's the art for the era is pretty good on the inside, but I think it was more the covers that people are attracted to than the actual art on the inside. Because there's some Wally Wood covers that are really fantastic, and then of course there's the horror covers that were, really pretty explicit for the time.
I have a bunch of these reprint old DC stuff.
That's cool.
Again, these are black and white,
right?
Stuff, but then they did some in color.
Yeah, well, you can always color them in yourself.
Yeah, I mean these are in color, so.
And those that he's showing are reprints, but they're recent reprints where I think they were printed within a year or so, weren't they? Of the original comics, they're not like later reprints.
No, these are from. I think some of these are like from the 50s and 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's not like the facsimiles that they do now.
No.
That was, yeah.
But again.
And the Australian ones are like that too, where they might only have been printed months or a year later. They weren't printed like many years later.
I always try and pick some of these up when I can find them. But these are starting to become a bit costly as well these days.
Yeah, because they're not really reprints technically. They're more like just representations for another market.
Mm.
I guess they are reprints, but they came out currently with the originals, So I think that's why they're holding their value, is because, they truly are from that era, And I don't know why I'm thinking about value more because of the comic boom, but I do think that there's going to be another uptick in prices, maybe only a couple of years from now, and that we're not doing the wrong thing by buying comics now. That's my opinion.
I think I think it depends on what you buy. The way we're buying, I think, is fine. These guys that are buying and slabbing everything and stuff, I think they're going to be real disappointed down the road.
Yeah, it depends on what they're slabbing, right?
Yeah. I mean, because they're slabbing everything, and
I've seen pages on eBay slabbed.
Yeah, they'll slap a page of Action Comics number 5 or something, and it's like okay, I get it, but you could have just put it in a plastic sleeve, or laminated it, or
if it's
whatever,
Action Comics number 5, I don't think it's a new thing that the pages have value.
No, probably not, but to slab it seems weird. I don't know. I mean, the whole slabbing thing, after I got my first slab a couple weeks ago, the one that I gave away, it was, I will admit, it looks nice. They present really well. If all you want is something to hang on the wall, I mean, great, but
you can do that. You can do that with your comics anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Or you could print out a picture and put that on the wall. I don't know.
I'm sure you could get them.
It's really an investment. It's not at that point. You're not really collecting comics. You're investing and hoping they're going to be worth something in the future if you're slabbing. And or you're trying to flip them real quick because in today's market, it does automatically apparently add to the value of the comic if it's in a high enough grade, you know. So
Yeah. What's your slab?
it was I don't even remember what it was. I gave it away on the channel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For the anniversary show, yeah, whatever it was. Oh, it was the Amazing the Spider-Man
ASM
one.
number 1, weren't it?
Yeah, Spider-Man #1. But it was like was it the silver edition? I think. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's what it was.
So
Like
It was
saying
that
it was
good. You don't
Spider-Man.
remember.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't even remember what it was.
Yeah, that's how many comic books I look at all the time. It's like, and I won another slab last week, so that's going to be coming in one of these days. And I don't know what it was because I wasn't there when they showed what it was.
well, guess what we got in common, Rob? I actually own one slab exactly myself.
Cool. What you got?
And I only bought it because the price was the price of a slab, you know, the price of
right,
slabbing.
yeah, the price of slabbing it, sure. Yeah, I've seen them where they're like on Whatnot, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're starting the slabs at $1," and I'm like, "Okay," you know, they don't go for $1 because they have a big enough audience where they know it's going to go for more than that. But you know,
You see a lot of people.
Some of the sellers are
complaining about how much
Whatnot,
stuff
you
is
know,
going for.
they'll. I'm sorry.
Do you see people complaining about how much stuff is going for?
Yeah,
'Cause it doesn't
yeah,
go for
all
the-
the
it
time.
doesn't go for the-
And
for the
I'll just
perceived
turn the
value.
sound off and not listen to them, and just watch. So if they try to communicate with me, a lot of the times I won't see it, I won't hear it because I'll just turn the sound off and watch, and bid when something comes up for bid, and you know. But yeah, a lot of these guys are on there. They're like oh, you know, or they'll stop their stream, you know. I saw one stream. I showed up for a flat rate stream a little bit late, and the guy was running the first box, and he shut the whole stream down after one box. And I'm like, I guess because he didn't feel enough people showed up. I don't really know. But, or maybe it just had something going on that he couldn't do the stream, and so he just ran one box to be nice or something. I don't know. Because that happens too, where they'll schedule a show. I'll try, you know, and I'll make a point of being there because it's somebody I bought from before and had success with or whatever, and then they just don't show up, and you don't know, are they late? Are they going to state 5 minutes from now? Are they going to start 15 minutes from now? A lot of time they just don't show up, and it's, you know, and then, you know, and like you said, they'll sit there, they'll complain about how much money they're making because, oh, you know, this went for $5. You know, it's a $50 book. Well, why did you start it at $1 if it's a $50 book? You know, and
I was on.
They really don't have anybody to blame but themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
I was on one, and he put a Golden Age comic up. For
yeah, TJ won the slab. That's right. He's saying thank you again in the comments.
I put so I bid on it because it was Golden Age stuff.
Mhm.
Somebody else bid against me, and we went back and forward a bit. And it went at the end. It went for like £6. But the guy that was bidding against me put in chat, that's a £50 comic that. I thought, well, you weren't willing to go past £6.
Right.
What's the point of saying that if you're not willing to go any higher than what you did on it?
Yeah.
So you ended up getting it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I can't. I think it was an old Tip Top comic, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the other things that drives me nuts on there too is somebody will come into chat in the middle of a stream and request something, and the entire show gets derailed.
Yeah.
As the host looks for something, or they'll ask for, oh, well, do you have any of this then? And then they'll go back and look again. This one person, they could be 20, 30 people watching here bidding on stuff, and this one person will come in, and because the host feels like they need to cater to the one person that's actually asking a question, the whole show gets derailed.
Well, I've been that person sometimes.
Yeah.
I have to say I have as well.
Well, I've made requests occasionally. I'll just be like, do you have any? Usually it's, do you have any cartoons? Because
No,
a lot of times,
when I tell you that I only want a near mint, You know why I do that?
Well, you said it was because the rest of
Yeah.
your collection is near mint.
Yeah,
basically.
that's the only time I do it.
Right.
I feel a little guilty, but sometimes I have to ask you.
No. Oh, I don't care about doing that on my channel. I mean, we're all just friends hanging out. It's not an auction, you know.
Oh, you're talking about
But
Whatnot.
I'm talking
yeah.
about Whatnot when I'm there because I've already paid for shipping. And if this person's going to derail for a half hour the entire show, how many books am I missing out on that I didn't get, and now my shipping is this much higher? You know, and it's not the person's fault. They're just asking a question, but it's the host's fault for not being like, well, you know, message me, private message me, I'll get back to you or whatever. Because I've been in their streams where they'll do that. They know not to disrupt the show, you know. And if there's only 2-3 people in there, it doesn't matter. But, you know, I've been on shows where the whole rest of this person will derail the entire rest of the show and still not buy anything.
Oh, that's terrible.
And you're sitting there watching and you're just out of luck, you know. And like I said, it's not really their fault unless they're doing it on purpose, but which sometimes you wonder. But yeah, that's one of the other things that it's just like I'm compiling a list because one of these days I want to do a video of like if I could come up with 10 things of bad stuff about Whatnot, because I'm always saying how great it is, but it's not. You know, there's things that really just kind of be like, what, you know. And one of the things is the people that basically get mad at you because you're buying their comics. It's crazy. You know?
The host on one stream was just showing Into the Spider-Verse on his TV. Not selling anything.
Yeah. Just like anything else, it's going to be good for a while, and then everyone's going to show up, and they're going to ruin it, and you know. So that's what's going to happen. So make the best of it when you can. And so you're going to have a claim sale Saturday?
Oh yeah, yep, should be.
Can you ship to England? That's got to be like cost like $35, I think. 35, 40 bucks.
Yeah, I haven't tried. I know I looked at Canada once when Alberto wanted to buy stuff, and it was like $15 just to send one comic book.
Yeah,
and I'm
$15 to $20 for a comic.
It was crazy, you know. Oh, and Alberto's in chat. Hey, Alberto. And the Jackson Roy Kurtz wants me to sing "Oh Danny Boy." And I will not do that, so thank you.
All right, well, Rob, I'm going to get going, so nice to say hi, all right? And
yeah, I appreciate you coming and coming on. Thank you very much, and happy 4th of July to you. And we'll, as I always say, we'll see you soon.
All right, buddy.
Actually, I'm probably going to wrap it up because I got to go start thinking about what I'm having for dinner and making for dinner for my mom and stuff. So,
oh, he's gone.
See ya. I didn't do that. He did that.
Yeah, well, it's been fun talking to you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tempest. Thanks for coming and jumping in. This has been fun. I didn't know what to expect doing this, if it was just going to be a complete madhouse and we had some technical glitches, but seemed to work out pretty well. So, yeah, for all I knew, some stranger would just pop up and just start flipping off the camera. You know, I don't know. Who knows? You know, so. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks to you and everyone else that was already on, Alberto and Pizza Rat and Razor Comics. If you're not subscribed to Razor Comics, please check out his channel. He's trying to live stream, and YouTube won't let him a lot of the time because he's not to 100 subscribers yet. So they put limits on what you can do.
Be something recent, then, I guess.
Yeah, because it used to be when I started, you had to be at 100, I believe.
Because I've.
But now you can do it, I think, at 50, but they limit how many people can see you.
All right, because I live streamed a video game once, but I only had like five subscribers to my channel at that.
Okay, yeah, he said that you can You can stream to your subscribers plus 25 more people.
All right.
But it's like, why not just let you why not,
Well.
you know, what's the point of putting a limit on it? It doesn't, I guess it's just an incentive to try and get more subscribers, but
Yeah.
But then they seem to limit what you can do with that anyway, so it doesn't, it's, I don't know, it's weird. YouTube's algorithms are driving me nuts.
Need to get on Rumble instead. Is Rumble still going?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat. Yeah, they're just saying bye. All right. What is Razor's channel name? Razor Comics is his name. And
I'll
if
check
I
him out
knew
later.
how, I would drop a link, but I don't really know how to do that. Let's see. He was in chat? I think he was in chat. Maybe I can just.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, there he is. So if I click on here, I don't know what the star thing is for. Do you know what the star thing is for in chat? There's just a star there when you click on the little dots, and it's like delete comment, put user in timeout. Right next to that, there's a star. But I don't know what the star is for.
I mean, that's just popped him up on here.
Yeah, that's when you click on the comment, it comes up. I was just seeing if it would let me just put a link in, but I think because I'm on here and not on as a moderator, it's got different stuff coming up than what like a moderator sees. I don't know. Lots to learn on here.
Well, I'll talk if you ever do this again, I'll try and pop on.
All right, thank you. And it was fun. It was nice meeting you. Nice to see you. And yeah, I'll try to do it again sometime. So
all right, nice one.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye, everybody. Have a great 4th of July. And we'll see you soon.